Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Spoon. Balaba. Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment. Kua. Wese kua, kujileo. Kua, kujileo. Todo Spoon, yes, what you information. Todo Spoon, to be Spoon television. Yes, I true party there. Spoon radio station.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stanton with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, why you back today?
School TV.
Yes, why you back today?
School TV. School
Ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba. Skiddy-biddy-biddy-da-ba-do.
School TV. School entertainment.
Kua, 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 kua. Bese kua, 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 go to there.
A special one from the CEOs, Dan Cone with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa.
Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kebab, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kiribamba, kiribamba, kiribamba. Kiribamba, kiribamba, kiribamba. What I want? Yes, why you back today?
School TV. School
Yes, why you back today?
School
Bese,
School TV. School
ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba. Skiddy-biddy-biddy-da-ba-do.
School TV. School entertainment.
Kua, 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 kua. Bese kua, 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 go to there. Kua, kua, go to there.
On the spoon to get
Yes, why
your
you are
information.
well.
On the spoon to
Kua, 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 kua. Bese kua, 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 go to there. Kua, kua, go to there.
on the spoon to get
Yes, why
your
you are
information.
well.
On the spoon to
Kua, 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 kua. Bese kua, 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 go to there. Kua, kua, go to there.
on the spoon to get
Yes, why
your
you are
information.
well.
On the spoon to
Kua, 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 kua.
And so today, it's been a very beautiful Saturday.
Kua, kua, go to there.
In complete contrast to last week, Saturday, where it really rained, it downpoured cats and dogs the entire day. But today, it was a very, very sunny day, a befitting way to bring to an end the most beautiful, the most awesome month of the year. That is the month of September.
Say kua, kua.
And September ended with beautiful sunshine. That's not yet ended in Liberia because we still do have time. But for those in Australia and other parts, they already have entered October. But it was a beautiful day, sunny day as well. I did see a lot of people doing laundry today as well. So, folks, good evening wherever it is you are listening to us from. Whether you're listening to us on Trust FM there in Bomi, Cape Mount, and Bapolu, or better still, Premium FM that is based in Bong County, that covers parts of Lofa as well as Nimba counties. I'd love to say good evening to you. To those of you listening to us on Spoon 107.5 FM or Fabric 101.1, I'd love to say good evening to you across Liberia. Those of you watching Spoon TV from all across the world, various continents, I'd love to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. So I do have a lot of unhappy friends, especially those from Manchester, whether from the city or from the United. They don't feel so good. So today you don't see a lot of trolling on Facebook. Rather, the Arsenal fans are the one doing almost all of the trolling on Facebook. But it's wet and sad in Manchester. All right, so folks, you're welcome to Liberia's biggest talk show. This is the Spoon Talk. And everywhere you pass, you get this stench, the aroma of elections around the corner. Sometimes it's not the best aroma you get. Like yesterday, what we witnessed, what we did see happen in Lofa County as we gear closer to elections. During the countdown, we have 9 days to go till the nation goes to the polls to vote in 73 representatives, 15 senators, and a president and vice president as well. So wherever it is, you're welcome to the mighty Spoon Talk, the strong Spoon Talk, the strongest of all talks. My name is Diamond Slanger, and I'll be producing tonight. I do see the former CEO, Mr. Stanton Alexander, with the spoon also in the background. The rest of the panelists are going to join in on the show. And key topic for tonight: don't try it. What has tried the don't try it? Don't try is not trying it. Crew King said from Big Diamond when you started wearing Inter Miami jersey, when you started wearing Aha jersey in Saudi Arabia. I don't even care to know the name of that club. Yeah, anyway, Messi says I follow. I'm a Messinian. Where you want to take any kind of way, whether you want to call it Messi or Messi Leo, any kind of way you call it. Messi trying to play for Lone Star. I already got like a different one. Yeah, so just lead that other one. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Dama, good afternoon. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I can see today.
Did you watch the Liverpool game and Tottenham?
Yes, I did watch the Liverpool game intermittently. Yeah,
they play 9 players to 11 players.
No, I didn't end the game, but I did watch.
I'll tell you how the game ended. It's crazy, Dama. The guy scored his own goal. Mistakenly, man. I mean, a minute to injury time, just maybe 50 seconds left. 50 seconds left. And I was happy because, I think Liverpool did well. They gave them 2 red cards. They were playing 9 to 11 players. And they got scored his own goal.
Which team you support?
Which
team?
Lone Star.
No, we all support Lone Star by virtue of the fact that we're Liberians. Yeah. Last time I heard you were beyond Arsenal because they started talking.
No. I'm not an Arsenal fan because one of these guys that support a team, I know Delano, who support Arsenal or Liverpool. I'm not an Arsenal fan. If I would support a team, it would be Chelsea, though they are doing bad right now. But I like Chelsea. I like the old Chelsea. And we're trying our best. We're praying to God that they can recalibrate.
So when Chelsea was winning, you were a Chelsea fan, the old Chelsea.
I wasn't a Chelsea
None that
fan.
they in this array, they've spent $1 billion and you can see nothing.
Yeah. Dama. I am not a fan to a particular football club or team. No. I just like the game. For example, the American football. You got Eagles right here in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. People say, Stanton, why you're not supporting the Eagles? No, I like the Cowboys from Texas, Dallas. I like Dallas Cowboys. I do. Because I like that Prague style. I don't like the fact that the way the old Eagles, how they treated Donovan McNair, how they treated all the other old players. So then I start focusing on Dallas Cowboys. I like the team. I like the way they play. Though Jerry Jones, the owner, he's somehow, but I like the team. And I hope they can win. I got people around here that will come with the Dallas, Eagles thing. Yeah, of course. Eagles is nice though, but I don't, I don't do it because of the state. I don't do it because of the country. I do it because of the player involved. I see you wearing it. Come on, man. They gave that guy all the money. He came to Florida. He came to make money. He's
but
he's
who's
not
in
one of
playing
the
football
greatest
not for the
players.
money? Who's in
No,
any
but
profession not for the money?
I don't think he's the greatest player, man. I dare you.
CEO,
Messi is
that's a
not
debate. That's a debate that
I agree.
we have until next
I
10 years
agree.
or 20 years.
I
Hands
agreed.
down, Lionel Messi
I
is the
agreed.
world's greatest player of all time.
I disagree that he's the world greatest
of
player.
all time.
I disagree. I disagree.
Yeah, you have to.
I disagree. If Josh Manuel, not to elevate him, we're playing soccer like in his prime today, George Manuel is going to be the world greatest player again. If you were playing soccer today, this time
how many
around,
full seasons did George Manuel play?
Say that?
How many full seasons of football did he play uninterrupted?
But you do agree, before I answer your question, you do agree. He said he received Africa best, European best, and world best.
Of course.
Which player on earth have received those three great glory? Which player on earth?
So George Manuel, we are
no. You have to answer the question.
Your question.
No. We'll get into the show. I am not a George.
African best.
I am not. But listen, now, listen.
South American best.
Listen. I am not a George Manuel fan when it comes to politics, but he's one of the greatest players ever played the game.
Granted, the fact that he has won the highest.
There's no need for argument on that.
No, see, you ask a question and you don't want me to answer the question.
No, I want you to deflect. I want you to answer.
Trying to deflect. George Manuel is from Africa. He's from Liberia, so hence he won the African best.
Correct.
Lionel Messi is from South America. He has won South American player multiple times.
Okay.
So he has won European player. He has won world best player. He has won the World Cup. He has won everything. No disrespect to President Weah during his playing days.
So can I say this to you? So
you are 7 times Ballon d'Or winner.
So can you pause a little bit now and take a deep breath though? Can you just chill with your ping on? It's okay.
Yeah.
You can wear your ping. You can wear your ping. Look at you see they put it so bad. Look at this sister. You know what she said? CEO, listen to her. Please don't mention this the election time. So, because it's election time, we will not talk about soccer and we'll not talk about the greatest player of all time, George Manuel. I'm not doing this because people should go vote for him. No. Y'all know I disagree with George Manuel politics. I do. His policy, I do. I disagree. But when you talk about soccer, though, give it to him. And you're right. I'm not going to say because a lot of young people are going to run behind George Manuel because you talk about soccer. So, Emmy, I take that back. I do. I would discuss this after the election. And, you know, that Damo in pain celebrating for Messi, Lionel Messi, and he gave him a problem. But I still disagree. I don't like the way he played, Messi. I just don't like the way it's something about him. Okay, we got some good players out there, but you know, this thing a business too. It's business. So let's just let it be. Let's just let it be, Damo. You listen, Emmy, I might guess you always put me in check. She says, CEO, look at the other person and says, CEO, you don't know about football. Please listen carefully. Look at your pal of Jacob Morgan. You better leave me alone. You know why I'm playing football? Where were you, Jacob? I don't want to lie to Abdullah Kamara. Abdullah can lie. He said he used to play football. He used to hurt the people. He crippled the goalkeeper with one of his shots. I said, Abdullah, get him, start lying.
That's Charlie soccer.
That's how I was walking down the street. I saw one of the old players. I just remember when I used to give him hard time with shots. I said, hey, Abdullah, you can laugh back with me. You know. And listen, something, I play soccer. And, you know, I play soccer, you know. Well, you can go find it. I think it's on YouTube. Go find me. So, Damo, what's going on with the story? We're going to wait for the guys to come on, though. But this don't try thing. You think some seriousness in it, Damo? Yeah, put it fly up. Look at that. CEO football name was Boom Breaker. You got it right, John. Hey, I used to kill the people. I used to kill the crazy Boom. You can't get nothing out of me. Listen, when I used to play soccer like that, you used to hear about Meswesif and immersive cross-forwarding. Tao one time. Better why? If I get the ball, you staying for me, either your boom go or I got to score.
The people that can talk like this when you put the forward down there, they are different story.
But man, forget what forward, man. You think when you should do that something? You know what forward name?
Yeah.
I beg you, yeah. But Damo though, put the flyer up. Just put the flyer up. What's going on with this don't try thing, Damo?
Well, Mr. George Solo.
But keep it up. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. Let me see George Solo face.
Yeah.
There you have it, folks. Don't try it, ride it. Dead upon arrival. Question. We are asking a question. The chief organizer, George Soto, will be on tonight. We'll discuss about the election, what is happening to the southeastern region. Gibson, Jerry will be on. Prince Maxwell will be on. Fadika, the minister himself, Eugene Lamin Fagon. We'll discuss politics, real-time politics, and what happened in Lo-Fi. People are still running around thinking that it is all over, but a lot of stuff is happening. So, but this don't try it rally. What's going on with it? I mean, are these guys serious? The organizer, the chief organizer, George Solo, is he putting his foot down? We are hearing different stuff. Tomorrow will be the 1st of October. George Solo promised the Liberian people that he will be on ground. Is he in Liberia? Dama, is George Solo in Liberia?
Well, I can answer in the affirmative or not because I haven't heard from him. I don't know his travel itinerary, but if he were to be in Liberia and this rally as of the onset, the way he was publicizing this rally on Spoon Talk, you know, the momentum that was brewing around this rally, if Mr. Solo were to be in Liberia, tomorrow is the 1st of October, we would have seen some appearances made by him.
I'll hold you right there. If you say this thing, no, I'm not worried about him. So I just want to know his location. I just want to know where he is. Don't bring him on yet. I want him to get settled. I want him to get in gear. But I want to know something yet, though. Tomorrow, the ANC coming out. The CPP coming out. Mm-hmm. You think these are some of the problems that George Soto have to go back and recalibrate about date and time?
Well, to recalibrate now will mean what available dates are there. You're looking at from the 1st up to the 9th of October, there will be political events happening. Different political parties will be either closing their campaigns or doing something that will have a clash.
Is this dead? Is this dead upon arrival there? Is it that no way, no time, no date, nothing? Just to look and come away.
Yeah. So from the surroundings, what I'm looking at and the time spent from his video, he's not in Liberia. Mr. Solo is not in Liberia from what I'm looking at. Because if he were to be in Liberia, it will be dark in his background. His background will be dark. But if this rally is to happen, then they still need to rejuvenate the momentum. Because Mr. Solo, unless I'm speaking for Spoon Talk, I've not seen him make appearances, you know, to talk about the rally, the momentum, you know, and even at that to see vehicles with speakers mounted, moving around to do publicity and all of these things. Even if the date is to be changed, the new date, you have the publicity team moving around to make sure people are geared up for this rally. But what we've heard in the corridors, which is unconfirmed, and again, Mr. Solo is in the background.
I want you to wait for Mr. Solo, then you can say what you heard, because I do not want to be the bearer of bad news. I want to bring good news to my Liberian people. I do not want to be the bearer of bad news. I'm only going to bring good news to my Liberian people. So we're going to get it started. I don't know. Am I looking dark? What's going on? That's my eye.
No, your background, the lighting is okay.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead. Let me go ahead in this respect. I want to go ahead and bring in the chief organizer for the Don't Try. We're going to deal with him. We're going to bring on. Oh no, he's not in Liberia. Oh no. Oh no. Welcome, George Solo. How you doing?
I'm fine. Stanton, how are you?
Solo, off the back, are you in Liberia getting ready for the Don't Try? Tomorrow is the 1st.
No, I'm on my way to Liberia. You know that the date have been changed.
Changed to when?
We are contemplating the 6th of October. Unfortunately,
There's there's a
the
closing on the 6th, right, Dama?
You said?
There's a closing. Another political party having a closing on the 6th, right?
I'm not too sure. Let me check that up.
but we are still planning our next direction in consolidation with whatever is going on. Simply because of the situation with the first, where another political institution whose vote we are committed to coming out to warn about protecting choose to use the birthday of a sitting president to launch. So that's an interesting mix, but by their fruits we shall know them.
Mm,
I think we advocated the 1st of October for a very long time. It is not only surprising, but it's disturbing that our opposition political party would take that same day. Now I listen to Diamond about speakers being mounted and people moving around. That is not what the movement is about.
mm.
The brigade is ready. The men are on the ground. The volunteers are on the ground. Our resources are on the ground. Things are being done. So this is not a publicity stunt, Diamond.
Yeah,
We're
Mr.
not
Solo,
running. We are
looking
not
at that.
running for
Dama, hold
What are
on one
you
elective
minute.
doing?
office.
Dama, hold on one minute. Let Solo finish. Go ahead, Solo.
We are not running for elected office. We're simply manning our patriotic responsibility. This call has been echoed by Senator Johnson. This call has been echoed by Mr. Porter. This call has been echoed by Senator Taylor. I think every Liberian sitting in their chair now has one concern, irrespective of which party you're for. And that concern is, will the election be free, fair, and transparent? And so this is not a movement about individuals getting out to get their name out. No, our name is already out there. It's really about doing the basic work, building the basic awareness. And Stanton will share it later. The website is there, the Facebook is there, the Instagram is there. You see the responses from Liberians from all walks of life saying this is something that is relevant. So it's not a thought process towards staging a rally for the sake of staging a rally. It's building awareness for the Liberian population on the importance and on the value of protecting the folks. So I just wanted to make that clarity.
So, Dama, you come in now. Go ahead with your
Yeah,
concern,
Mr.
of
Solo,
course.
my concern is how are you reaching out to the people? You've mentioned notable individuals, but how do you have a door-to-door approach? How is your team doing the mobilization to get people out there on the new date that will be pronounced? And how soon are you going to announce the new date so that people can be aware that it's on this particular date and it's at this particular location and we need to converge to make a statement that don't try it.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Diamond. We're reaching out to the different commanders of the brigade, different members of the brigade. They are reaching out to brigade members. We continue to pile up our volunteer listing. We have several events even in the U.S. This one weekend. So we continue to build awareness. I talk about the social media aspect of it. I talk about the website, our representation that today is now increasing the U.S. and other foreign governments' involvement in the political process in Liberia, understanding the risks that it carries. So we continue to mobilize from that level. We continue to use media. I know I have not been on Spoon as regularly, but I've been on other local media and trying to reach out to people. This is a consensus about a movement related to securing our folk. This is not a political institution. This is not a tribal institution. So, Diamond, as you can appreciate, the outreach is based on the command structure, and that's what we are doing. And so the message will be flowing. The new date will be called. We have a session tonight. The new date will be called, and we'll rally our forces around that. Now, Diamond, also remember, separate of members of the brigade and aside Liberians who will come out, ordinary Liberians, irrespective of your institution, can say the protection of my food is important to the future of my children. So we expect market women, pen boys, everybody to be out in full.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, just so you said that you are not in Liberia. You are where you are right now. Tomorrow is the first. Monday will be the second. We'll be having 8 days to go to this election. You're looking to do this thing on the 6th. This thing really happened. With there be or don't try if
Yeah,
protest.
yeah. I don't. It's already happening. People are being trained and prepared to sustain polling stations. It's already happening. It's not a one-day event. The rally is just the climax. It's already happening. We have our brigade ready to follow every ballot box that come out of every precinct and make sure that it ends where it's supposed to end. So it's not the issue of, and that's what I was trying to let Diamond know, and I want to reiterate, it's not the issue of a one-day event. What you're talking about, the rally is the climax, but the work is being done. Computers have been sent on the ground, arrive now, will be distributed, phones. So the work is being done. Regalia is being made, it's being printed,
Yeah, but
t-shirts.
people looking at that rally, people looking at the assembling, people looking at people coming together to move from up Broad Street, down Broad Street in every county and say, don't try a job. We are people trying to look at what happened in Lofa yesterday. People died. Look at what happened
No,
in Lofa
Stanton,
yesterday.
Stanton is
They're
the
not
same,
open.
is
Let
the
me
same.
finish, brother George. Brother George, let me finish. I think the people trying to come up with the point that listen, we want to see something. Dama said there is no moving vehicle. Dama saying that there is no flyer. Is this thing a Zoe Bush thing or Society, the Knights of St. John or St. Mary or St. Peter, that everybody going to Zoe Bush and they will come up when they feel like in a black coat suit?
You can tell me how you want, Pastor Spoon, but
The man coming
the
past us. Ask my
the
question.
yeah, the reality is there's a formation to this thing, and there's a communication trend to this thing, and there's a way that, and this is why we call it the Central Revolutionary Vanguard Brigade. The name should tell you the format of how process work within a brigade. Yeah, there's formality, and we'll come out with a date. I already told you we're contemplating the 6th. We'll come up with a date. You will see movements. You will see people coming from places. You will see things coming from places. The issue is not about that. And that's why I told you and Diamond, even if we have to walk from our various homes, if we have to use wheelchair, it's not about logistics. No. The logistics have been put in place. It's not about money. It's about Liberian people waking up to a vision about protecting their vote. This is not a George Solo event. Simon, what have you done? How important is your vote to you? What have you done to connect with people who intend to protect your vote as a Liberian? It's all of us questions. So I'm being rhetorical. You don't have to respond, Diamond. But the question is everybody's responsibility. This is not like, oh, George Solo wants to bring this. No, this is something that Liberians want to rally around simply because it's in their interest.
So, Diamond, I sent you a lot of flyers. Can you please put them up for us to share with the folks? We have George Soto, the chief organizer of Don't Try It. George, somebody telling me right now, they're sending me a text message and said we will not see no rally. I mean, they said George Soto will not bring up the people because they heard Milton Bly, the former butt naked. He's saying that you guys will go out there and make the case. But people are now concerned that there will be no Don't Try It rally. So now, I mean, I want you to give the Liberian people some hope. Would there be a rally?
I told you there will be a rally. I've already said that to you. I've repeated that 3 times. The second thing related to Milton Bly is a Liberian. He has the right to protect his vote. He has the right to encourage people to protect their votes. So I don't understand the relevance of referencing Milton Bly as a hindrance. Do you
No,
know the
I'm
work that
not saying
Milton
it's dangerous.
Bly?
I'm saying that he went out and he spoke and said there will be a rally. He trying to, bring up the crowd and trying to encourage them. It's not in a negative way, but now we are moving. Time is not in our favor anymore, in your favor anymore, in the media favor anymore. If there be a
Time is
rally,
in. Yes, there will be a rally. Time is not in our favor. I think the general understanding that we're trying to create here is the date that we have set and we have planned and worked around, which was the first, has now been sumptuously occupied by another opposition party who folks were trying to
How do
protect.
you feel about that, though? What can you? I want you to talk to us on that because if that is a concern and this have it crippled the don't try rally, or I mean the downsides of this, Mr. Soto, can you speak to it?
I will not use the word cripple, but it delayed, it hindered the progress of the message that we were trying to send. It also is conspicuous because these are some of the opposition parties who vote. We want to make sure it's protected. But we know there are elements within those institutions that will and have always been not in the interest of the people. So these things will just reflect on their own leaders in the end, because this is almost like a slap in the face with an event that is supposed to support people who then turn around and use that date for their own whatever. So yeah, it is disappointing, but with the arrow in there for revolutionary, there's never an end. We'll organize around a new date and we will proceed accordingly.
Wow. Wow. So your voice to the people today, if CPP rally, which is scheduled for tomorrow, I thought CPP is part of this don't try a thing because you assure the folks that comments and folks supported you guys and they were in this don't try it movement. So
I
I
talk
did
to people within. I talk to people within the CPP. I don't have to call names to include lawmakers of the CPP. It was quite evident that everyone was in support of it, and that this was a joint effort. We talked to all political institutions, and got real good response from them. So it was somehow surprising to see the same CPP turn around and choose October 1st. Now I have secondhand information around what happened and why that date was chosen, and the level of support and commitment that was made available to that process for them is what encouraged them to encroach on that day for us and the Liberian people. But once again, we remain resolute, and we'll rally around the new date, as I said.
so are you confirming the new date now with folks? Is this confirmation that you are now telling them that this thing is
Our
happening?
tentative date, yes, our tentative date is the 6th, yes.
And will you be in Liberia?
I'm on my way to Liberia right now.
Oh wow! So Dama, come back on the show, Dama. You were asking whether but Dama, don't leave us, man. The other guys will join us soon. But you were asking whether Joe Soto will be in Liberia. He just said he's on his way.
Yeah, that was part of his opening statement that he's on his way to Liberia. But again, there are unconfirmed, rumors filtering in the grapevines that Mr. Solo and some of the organizers of the brigade, they've been compromised. So I want to ask Mr. Solo whether or not conversations of such happened, whether they were approached, and to reiterate his commitment. He earlier said it is not about the merge or the converging of his people at one spot, but that was one of his most stated cases that he made on Spoon, that people are going to come out, people are going to come out, people are going to come out, people are going to converge. So now, why is that a detuning of the language that, okay, it's not that, but rather we have people from different places doing different things, and it shouldn't really be focused on that convergence of the people at one spot. So it's just a two-part question for Mr. Solo. Have you been approached? What we're hearing, can you confirm or deny? And if such approach was made to you, what was your response? And if it was not made to you, and still, do you still remain on course? And why are you detuning now from the fact that you said people are going to converge in large numbers to send out that statement that don't try it?
I'm not detoning from anything. I think you're trying to put words in my mouth and you're creating syllables, Diamond. That's what you're doing. You're not asking a question. You're creating a scenario. If your question is the rally going to go on? Yes. The second question directly, if I will separate your questions from your innuendos, the second question will be, have you been contacted or compromised, or have you engaged in any conversation related to the rally? My response to you will be absolutely not. No one have contacted me. I have had no conversations about not having a rally. I had no conversation externally or with anyone within the ranks of the government or thereabout about this rally.
Thank you.
So do you think anyone in your group is this a group thing, George Soto? Are you alone or you are in this thing with other folks
No, no, we
that
have others.
organizing?
You have others. You just mentioned Mr. Bly, of course, Mr. Koluba, Mr. Wapo, Mr. This person, Mr. That person. Is not, like I said earlier, a George Solo one man effort. It's a group of Liberians sensitive towards the value of their vote. And this has spread out. Ordinary Liberians in the US and other places have engaged me on what they can do, how they can volunteer to help support this effort, because they understand that it's a worthy effort. With all of the news coming, you earlier mentioned the violence in Lofa County. You talk about the inadequacies in the election commission going to the Supreme Court, unable to publish full photo roll and all of those things in a timely way. Of course, everyone is on edge. What is going to happen in this election? Do you not have that concern? Everyone has that concern. And I said this months ago that this was going to be an impediment. If we did not hold the government accountable, the government would do everything within her ranks and power to retain power. And we're beginning to see that manifest. So now out of the blue is like, oh, Joshua, you are not there. Oh, Joshua, well, Joshua is not the Republic of Liberia, Damo. Get outside, talk to your friends. You get outside too. What's the value of your vote? Stanton, talk about it. How valuable is the Liberian people's vote? If you vote for someone and that person is in the majority and that vote is taken away, what kind of sentiment does that bring? What kind of chaos lead to that afterwards? How do people feel when they are cheated of their rights? Those are general discussions that we almost talk about.
So, but you are leading the charge. Let me ask you another question, George. Let's try to move away a little bit, Diamond, and I want us to squeeze George Soto the best way we can. Your party, your former party, to be correct, I stand to be corrected. Your former party, the CDC, you serve as chairman. Listen to this video, and I'd like you to respond after.
Let them before they realize we will sweep them over. And the thing that disturbed us here, to my disgrace and to the disgrace of many peace-loving people, we don't have a police commander that you can tell this man is denigrating government. We want to have him apprehended for saying or for insulting officials. You go there, they will tell you, say, we cannot do that. You go up and down, it will not be done. And when you go to the court is not you. They will dare you. They will disgrace you. So, the arms and ammunition that we want people to supply us with, we want a police commander that is purely sedition, the deputy that is purely sedition, and officers that are sedition, so that when we talk as a team. And we want a court judge, the magistrate, and all the people, most of the people that are in that court, to be seditions to the court, so that they would interpret the law. When we say pro-poor, the laws are there ever since. But this government is in the interest of the poor people.
Let me ask you, George. When they promised arms and ammunition, this gentleman by the name of Moses Sonjog, I think he served as assistant superintendent for development, all right, in Lofa County. He's saying the arms and ammunition you guys promised us. Don't you think the Liberia National Police should call him for investigation? Did they promise them arms and ammunition? What say you upon listening to that clip?
I'm just baffled, Stanton. I'm baffled, and it's not just what he is saying. It's the gathering he's saying it in, and the audacity with which he's saying it very freely, very confident in what he's saying. So it tells you there have been bigger conversation around this. Where is the ammunition coming from? Who is sending it? If you pull the rope will pull the bush. I defy you, Liberia National Police will do nothing. That gentleman will not even be calling for questioning because he's working on behalf of someone. And as seen with the recent violence in Lofa, this is a manifestation of some of the inward plans that unfortunately the sitting government has towards the electoral process. And I think the video is evident. He said it himself.
Diamond, maybe doing your follow up with your correspondent up there in Lo-Fi. This guy walking free. This video been out there for a while now, and nobody said anything. And also, before you come in, Diamond, the commander, the police commander in Foya, busy. What's your take? Or what are you hearing, Josudo? What are you hearing? Because after that meeting, Thomas Fada asked the Liberal National Police that Bassey should serve as commander. And he killed somebody. The allegation that yesterday he discharged his weapon and someone died. What say you?
Stand there again. The apple doesn't far from the tree. And the reality of that situation will manifest itself again. And this is why when you hear Dr. White and other people talking about ritualistic killing, talking about a violent raiding election and a government that is set on blood, these are some of the examples of how people have been empowered to do these things with impunity. That's a classic example of that. And we'll continue to follow. The good news is accountability is 10 days away. So the caution is whatever you are doing now, understand you'll be held accountable for.
Dama, do you have question before we move to the next video?
On that particular matter, no.
Thank you. Let me ask you about what took place yesterday in Lo-Fi, Josulo. You've been around CDC, you know the games, you know the tactic. You watched the video. It's horrible. People died, Georgie. Let me get your take, then we'll bring in the question.
My take is that of disappointment. No Liberian should die in this process. No one Liberian is more important than the other. No one life is more valuable than the other. Despite which political institution you affiliate with, no Liberian should get to the level of violence and death as a means of expressing their grievance. Secondary to that, you clearly understand that the Unity Party had a planned occasion that CDC came out and provoked them from Mr. Fala compound. And this is how things escalated. The election laws are clear. Everybody choose their dates. When someone is coming out or is carrying on an event, you stay away from that event. Period. And if those things are respected, we'll not be discussing the loss of life as we're doing.
So at the end of the day, everybody children, everybody doing their stuff. Political party open the program. You got another group closing the program. Yeah, we are. Let's talk about the strength of the election, Josulo. What's your take about County, Montserrado County? Why you think a political party going to win Montserrado County, and which political party you think going to win?
I think based on the echoes of the ground and the voice of the people, the Unity Party will win Montserrado County.
Yeah, based on the voice of the ground, you have anything to share? You have anything to point to? CDC.
Talk to the different voice.
You got two now. CDC saying that they're going to win. CPP saying that they're going to win. Why are you eliminating them?
Well, I mean, I'm not counting CPP into the equation. I'm simply eliminating CDC.
Why?
Um,
CPP,
because
why?
because CPP is not part of that equation. To be honest with you, and so I'm counting out CDC on the premise of the lack of work thereof, and the citizens who are feeling the pinch economically, the people who are going to work every day, civil servants who don't get paid, all of those things will affect the CDC immensely. The insecurity of the people, the mysterious death, the lavishness of the president and the government, buying stuff beyond imagination while poor people suffer. The hardship, the lack of jobs, all of those things would disturb CDC. And it's obvious.
Yeah, but let's go back to CPP. They are closing the campaign tomorrow, the first, your day that you choose to do, you don't try it, they took it from you. they are close to your campaign respectfully. You do not want to interrupt their program, but you're saying that you are not counting CPP because it's kind of too vague to say you're not counting and they are political party. Probably they right now they stand good chance, as they are saying. They are raising the momentum. Why would you just drop them flat?
Well, I'm giving you my own analysis. I don't think the CPP are really connected with the people. I don't think the CPP is a representation of what the Liberian people will lean towards right now. Um, and I believe that you'll see that in 10 or 11 days that the Liberian people are resolved. We are resolved to have a change in governance, but very careful not to turn over the table in a way that reflects the past. And I think that's what the CPP represent right now. So again, just my own analysis.
So let's stick with how you call it with CDC. CDC saying that they will win. Now we have an issue. Yesterday, while on the show, the National Election Commission put up 14 out of 15 counties. Final voter, final registered roll. Okay, they put out the FRR, and it's saying that listen, this is what we can do till Monday or Tuesday to put up Monserrato. Are you concerned why they're holding Monserrato back?
I am concerned. Every Liberian is concerned when you withhold information and you are not releasing it as mandated with transparency. Everyone is concerned. All of these things speak to the fairness and the validation of the electoral process. So, of course, it's concerning to me, like it should be concerning to most Liberians, especially with the election commission that we have limited trust for anyway, that we believe have limited capacity anyway. To further strengthen that thought, by simply either by lack of capacity or lack of desire, not be forthcoming with information is unacceptable, Stanton.
What you make of talk to us about David Eto Brown Lasana? You've been knowing her from LBS and other places. You've been knowing her, but is she transparent to you? You think she's gonna work efficiently, transparently to the world that according to her TOR, you think you can trust her though?
I mean, if you ask me personally, the answer is no. I cannot. I know her proximity to the incumbent president, who, of course, is running for a second term. I know her proximity to him. There's a time in every human life when sometimes the right thing precedes you and you just do the right thing. And that's why we're sending out the caveat to her and to the rest of the commissioners to do the right thing. And everybody is saying, oh, why did Joseph Boca say this? He said, if. What did Prince Johnson say? He said, if. What are we all saying? We said, if. Stanton, if you steal that rice, I will shoot you. Forget about shooting you. Just don't steal the rice, right? It's hypothetical. You have to
Yeah,
do something for that reaction to come out. So when people say strong statements are being made, yes, strong statements should be made
but
and
get but,
is
but
being
I
made.
don't want us to move to the audio yet. We'll come there because there's a reason why you are here to explain this. Let's remain with David Eto Brown Lasana. Was she ever a sedition?
No, in the sense of, party related, no, but she's a citizen by affiliation
How so?
because, well, I mean, obviously her proximity to Mr. Weir. I was there as chairman, her proximity to us. That's by extension, Stanton. You
It,
don't
it
have to
was
be.
then, though. It was then, right? It's not
I'm
now.
not. I'm not there now. I'm not saying now. I don't know what she's doing now. I'm going off what I know. But whether it was then and now, the proximity is established. When that proximity is established, you of course you have doubt about the individual. So if Stanton knew George and George and Stanton were close, and Stanton has the final saying on a process that George is in, well, I mean, in a sense of law, in a sense of human consciousness, will you not be concerned?
So because of that relationship, if you say her proximity, what are you talking about? Friendship, talking on the phone, working relationship. I want you
I
to dig
said,
deeper into that proximity.
I said her proximity. She had very, very close personal proximity to the president when I was there. In that regard,
What year?
I don't believe. For instance, you don't know what year I was chairman of CDC.
No, seriously, I want
You
our
gotta do
audience
your,
to understand.
you gotta do your research, my man.
No.
Journalism.
I want our
Like
audience to hear from you.
1922.
1922.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. But again, if you talk about that relationship, you think the relationship has spilled over into a professional working relationship?
And it's possible. Instead of anything is possible. Who am I to predict what things can spin into? But when you ask me about my optimism, the only thing I can recollect is that proximity. And she was appointed. She's working in government. So a literate man guess will be that that proximity have been sustained.
So, George, now, folks, you are asking who is Godia. This is George Solo. We appreciate the fact that George Solo is here on Spoon. All this on a beautiful Saturday, all these guys are saying they will come up the hour, which will be 9 o'clock your time. Be patient. This is going to go crazy a little bit. So, this is just a little tease with George Solo, the Don't Try It. And George Solo is saying that he will be in Liberia to carry on the Don't Try It rally, but he wants you to stimulate your base and get them ready. George Solo, let's stick with this. Let's stick with Madame David Etta Brown Lasana. Does she have any children that you know of?
Yeah, I believe she does. And
I'm
I
not
will
saying
not
go
get
there.
into
I'm just asking a question. Don't go
Yes,
there.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes, yes.
if a relationship with Josh Manor, we are were they girlfriend or boyfriend, or I want to go into that relationship. You say proximity, no. I want my Liberian people then to understand that relationship because she's working right now as a commissioner of the national election. So period. So what you want to say? She's the chair lady. She's the
So is
chairman.
all your other ministers there. They are also concubines of George Weah. How do you want me to say it? When I say close proximity, we're gonna close, very close proximity, man, woman will have other than man, woman. No, you like to pull me out in a way that you know what I mean? Because we have
No.
elaborated, and for me, that's where the
Every
sanctity of
day,
the election.
just solo. Every day on Sponsor is a new day. When you say yesterday you
Mm,
come back, new people follow you. That's why if you look at
yeah,
the number, it's 70 to 80 to 100,000 followers every single day on Prime FM, on it from Nimba, Spoon Talk, Super, Fabric, all our TikTok. Our TikTok is up right now. So this will be on TikTok. It will be relayed again tomorrow, play again tomorrow morning. So I want to hear from you. You saying proximity. Like, bro, people don't want to know. Is she Joey girlfriend? Was she
she
Joey
was
girlfriend?
she was Joey girlfriend. You was Joey Abu. Hey, what for me to call it really?
Girlfriend, or
I
just
say I say I say Boabu.
what it called Babu?
Boabu. A side chick.
Oh, side chick. Okay. All right. So I mean, I'm not going to go there because it's not my thing. I'm not going to,
And I make
I'm
can
not.
go there. You can put a row where people go there. You say you're not gonna go. Hey, I say I want fire to that. And that was gonna talk about what I try. Why you're compromising our date? You're compromising the
No, we
integrity
not.
of movie, the country power. They got everything
Just
for
want,
me.
we just
I
want to do
want someone to
exactly.
protect for.
We just want to know how to protect the vote, and it's something like this. Let's welcome our brother Gibson. Let's welcome our brother Gibson Jeru. How you doing, brother Jeru? Good to see you on after many days. We
Yeah,
understand that
I'm
that's
good.
one
I'm
of
good.
the
I'm good.
Gibson ran away
I'm
because
good.
the one Gonglo is about to battle all of the race with less than 8 days to go. But let me stick with we got brother George Soto on the show tonight. We are very concerned, brother Gibson, that this election thing and Madame David Brown Lasana, and I'm squeezing George to tell the Liberian people more as to if they can trust Madame David Brown Lasana. Georgie, why will you not trust her concerning that she have a relationship with George Manuel Weah, whether it is current or not? You think she can pivot this thing to George Manuel Weah and take the side of George Manuel Weah?
Yeah, I think it's very possible. Again, I don't know how to explain proximity, Stanton. If I ask someone who were close to you um, to make a decision in regards to you, there's a sense of favoritism and it's questionable. And that's why I believe people who sit on the election commission should either be put there by political institutions or through a different process because we see this over and over and again where presidents put people who they have confidence would take their direction into those roles. Now, that even gets worse when you have a previous relationship with this individual or president or past, whatever you want to say about it, that even compromise the integrity of the decision that you will make even more. So is that concerning? Yes, it is concerning.
You think she and Joe we are still talking now? Are they still having
I,
conversations?
I don't know. I'm not one to speculate. I don't know. But if they've talked before, what's stopping them from talking
Did they
now?
break up? I mean, tell to us if you ever heard when you were there,
I
when you
remember
were
having there, I was loving to the two people are loving, I'm not loving with them.
were you the
Uh,
connecting point?
no, I was not. The people are loving before I got there.
How can you testify to that?
I testify on an oath. I cannot testify to anything. And I see if I'm gonna accuse you, where you testify on an put your hand or you swear.
No, I mean, were you there? Did you see her coming to Joe Manor with her house? Did you
We
give her
live in
a
the same
ride?
house. We live in the same house. Yes. I say I establish I can't say that they're together now, but I can establish that they did have a relationship. I was there. There's somebody I had breakfast with. There's somebody I sat down with. I'm not telling you, say, Gibson told me or Stanton told me.
So did she
They-
cook for Joey? Did she eat with Joey? And you ate along with them?
My man Stanton, we live in the same house. We ate together. We sat down. We talked. We
Wow.
laughed together. I'm not putting this up in a, in a crazy way to say. I'm saying yes. Let's watch out. There could be a compromise there. And for us who know, we must be clear about it. It's our patriotic responsibility. I don't want to dive deep into people's life and all that stuff, but it is established that I know, and I'm not saying somebody told me, I know her proximity to the president. So what will stop her from declaring what he wants her to declare? What?
Wow. Let me pause you there because I got so many questions and a lot of people are concerned. They're sending me messages. Question to ask you if this is true, my brother Gibson. We are on a very scary territory right now. If this woman had a relationship with Josh Manawia, if the woman and Josh Manawia live in the same house, as Josh Soto is saying, if this lady, David Etta Bryan, Josh Manawia had a family relationship, paying children school fee, giving children ride to school, and talking about living together till he become president, how easy would this thing be for her to say, Josh, let's give you a second term, Gibson?
Let me make this even more interesting. Let be honest, I have to respect Devietta Brown for her professionalism. When she used to be at Star Radio as one of the producers, she really not mentored me, and she was straightforward. She would not let you do what you know it was not professionally done, and I really enjoy her at the time at the Star Radio. So I want to give it to her professionally. But again, Devietta Brown has a decision to make. The Etta Brown either break everything, smash everything that she has lived for through all these years, being a professional, smash it, bury it down the drain, or resurrect and hold up to her reputation and be honest and fair in this election. Because sometimes you gotta people have to understand that when the breeze is blowing certain places, you don't want to go against the wild wind. Sometimes you get swept away. Probably based on that, as you see a movement of people away from George Weah, even cheating for George Weah would be a dangerous thing for her to do. I don't think she's going to do that, but I stand to be corrected. But if she allowed that proximity to allow her for George Weah to tell her what to do in these elections, even while the ECOWAS, United Nations, European Union, United States government, they are warning people from doing anything that will create animosity, violence, and cheating in this election, and if she allow herself to be pushed down the toilet, then she will have herself to blame. But based on her professionalism, I think she will hold up to her profession rather than cheating for George Weah.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, no, I was giving a chance. Thank you. So, George, I mean, hearing what Gibson said, though, you think this is Liberia should be concerned then because of the relationship? But I'm not going to be so quiet like Ambassador Gibson Jeru. George, I mean, you only showed tonight for us to be very serious because these are election times. We got but 9-10 days away. So let's talk some hard talk. Let's talk about have this thing. If this is George Manneh, we are girlfriend, as you are saying, previous girlfriend, it's an open corridor right now for us to discuss. You do not have no faith, one faith in her because of a past relationship with President George Manneh. And that's the reason why he appointed her. To be frank, are you agreeing with me? You think that's the only reason why he appointed her, George Soto?
Well, I don't think it's the only reason. Like Gibson said, she's a competent person. But I think he appointed her on the basis of taking of his ability to influence her. That's how George Weah thinks. That's how he appointed all his officials of government. It's based on his ability to influence them. They are not independent thinkers. They are not people going out in the morning and running ministries. Everybody leave their ministry in the morning, they get in the car, they go to Jamaica. The ministries are empty. Nobody is working. So yeah, by his pattern, that is who he is. He will appoint people that he believes he can influence. Because his intention is when it gets difficult on him, he will influence them. Stanton, that's common human nature.
So let me stick before we bring our brother Fadika. Let me hold you right there because it is important. Somebody have a question for you. You said George Manneh cannot win Montserrado County. Can you repeat yourself, those that are joining us, as to why he cannot? And you have already eliminated the CPP that having the closing program tomorrow.
Yeah, so look at the volume of citizens of Nema that are in Montserrado County and remove that number. Look at the amount of times that the sitting government has shot themselves in the legs with the Liberian people. Look at the level of unemployment, and even for those that are employed, look at their ability to get paid on a month-to-month basis. Look at the economy. Assess the hardship. Look how dirty the city is. Look at Montserrado County, the seat of government. Look at the inability of government to live on to simple projects and things that they have committed to. Look at the sanctions. Look at the international community pulling money away because simple reports cannot be generated and given to them based on their funding. Look at the state of the Republic of Liberia, and you are living in the capital of Montserrado County. And you saw when the UP came out, the number of Liberians that voluntarily, without transportation money, without private money, without buses, came out. It is evident that Montserrado will be a scenario of the Dara Dillon Tomo Fala situation. The people of Montserrado County will vote for the Unity Party very clearly.
Are they voting just because to speak to George Manneh, we have to get into his head, or are they voting for real change? Again,
I think it's a bit of both, Central, not to cut you off, but I think it's a bit of both. And that's what we saw with the Dillon election as well. Sometimes Liberians are so angry with the incumbent and the way they are being treated, they just want them out. And other times, it's a testimony to them to say, we put faith in you. You did not justify by your actions that our faith was to be rewarded. And so the time will come again when we'll let you know that we are the boss.
do you think George will get the message before we bring Fadika in? Do you think he got that message, or do you think he believes that he can win Montserrado? You think it's just about Joe Weah and not even about Samuel Tua, Eugene Nangbe, Jefferson Koji, Samora Wodo Cody, Akaris Gray, Chairman Molu, Sir Joseph, Thomas Fowler, those guys that come around the president, some of them. Do you think he really listened to them, that he have lost Montserrado and all those bigger counties?
Well, I think he is aware. that he lost a lot of popularity in Monserrado County. But again, with bootlickers around who will continue to send the wrong message, justify it, re-justify it, put it into sense. It's just like Mr. Toy articulation that we're selling electricity to Ivory Coast. That was discussed for a whole month. So it's that kind of mindset where things are discussed repeatedly, and the value of the real action is invaluable by the time you get to the end. So, and we've seen this over and over with leaders where they lie to them so much to the point where the truth become unrealistic, and is the lie and the unrealistic approach that all is well, you're gonna get a landslide. Don't worry, the people like you. I mean, that's the old adage that stands for nothing new.
So let me bring in my brother. Yeah, go ahead, Jason. Before bring in Fadika, go ahead.
It's like the emperor is naked, and there's no one to tell the emperor that he's naked, because everybody wants to suck up to the emperor. So George Weah knows that he is losing. He has lost a significant part of his popularity that he had 2017 that propelled him into election. Today, his own action, he chipped away his popularity by himself, not by anybody. George Weah himself took a knife and cut away his own popularity by himself, by his action, his failure to speak on major issues affecting the people. People are being killed. There's no public statement, public condemnation from the president. The president will tell the people, oh, I have one boyfriend and girlfriend, they go me and something happened. Are you kidding me? A president of the nation, 2 of your citizens are killed in the street of Monrovia, and you call that boyfriend and girlfriend? 8 auditors are dead, and you cannot speak to that. You cannot send out his security apparatuses to hunt the killers and bring them to book. Drugs are in the streets. $100 million drugs were tipped off by the U.S. government. You arrest these people and let them go. Recently, a drug was seized at the Raleigh International Airport. You say the people should resign, or else in 4 days you will dismiss them. What are we now? The people are seeing that he has a knife in his hand, and like a banana, you are chopping away your popularity little by little and little by little, and you have reached a point where he can no longer salvage what he had destroyed by himself.
Wow. Dom Fadika?
I have a couple of questions for George, but before that, I just wanted to buttress some of his effort, what he was saying. Look, Monserrado is very crucial because the people that feel the government the most are in the city, everywhere, even for every incumbent. Those civil servants, bulk of them reside in the capital. It's the economic hub of Liberia, and those are the people that will really be protesting against George Weah. The people in the villages barely feel the impact of government. It's watered down to different channels to the point that they don't even know that the government exists. But in Monrovia, people know. If anywhere that the president have done well through all his bid has been in the city. But what I'm gathering, and this is where I want to come with my question for George. What I'm gathering is that Gibson mentioned that he's the emperor that is naked. I think it's more than just an emperor that is naked. I think George is a president that was given a post. He's a ceremonious president. He's not the president of Liberia. He's not running Liberia. This is not the man that have a dream and aspiration for a country that he wanted to achieve. This is not a man that had any plan for Liberia. This is a man that was a figurehead that was popular, and I think folks like George and other people thought that we can use this guy to get to the presidency. But George Weah never had a brain of his own where I want to move the children out of poverty from Gibraltar. He never had a set plan. And through all the years, because he didn't have a doctrine or a set plan or mission or vision, he has sat there and people have told him, oh, you know what, Papi? I think you need to build studio. The market people will like it. They build it. And 6 years came and George Weah is looking and they told him that they did all these things and he's still trying to figure out how is it possible that even in the Southeast, with all the few horses that you're told me to build for 10 or 20 people, the people are still angry. He's still trying to understand what went wrong. But what went wrong is a president that is not in control, that doesn't have a mind of his own. He has been spoon-fed with a bunch of garbage by the likes of Samuel Twer. And for a long time, McGill was controlling everything. He just sat there, they brought him money, he womanized, smoked his weed in Jamaica, and married Mick. Fly girls from other stuff. That was his thing. And now he's facing the election of his life, and he can't understand with the home that he built for a few people, with the 24 more that he built in an isolated era, and all these different veins.
Can I hold you there? Can I hold you there though? Because it's very important, because we're gonna squeeze George Soto tonight. Let's welcome my brother Duadu. I'm coming back
I
to you.
gotta ask George though.
I'm coming back to you. Don, I'm coming back to you, Fadiga. You will finish up. But you're making some very, very good point. Did George Manawia do this to himself? I want you to continue with that, and I want to hear from 6 years. Did he do it to himself?
Yes.
Like Gibson said, people died, the man didn't say anything. U.S.
But it's more than young people dying.
Didn't say anything.
I don't think people dying is the reason why George Weah even getting the problem. People dying is a minute portion of George Weah problem. George Weah problem is he was a man without a plan. He just running around like a chicken head, that just passing around, no plan. And self-inflicted wound, political wound, are one of the worst wounds. Because you can, some people come out, some people don't. And if George Weah was smart, you know that he's failing. Yes, man. Let me just give you one example. Yes, man. In the Southeast, we have had so many presidents for the Southeast. What is the basic thing that the people need in the Southeast? Roads. You call yourself bar road medicine. Even Charles Taylor, normal days, rebel time, the people plow that road, they did something with no dressing. George Weah could not do it. Even the connectivity. So if you look at this man, he going back, then what happened? In the election, he brought helicopter. You know what? That helicopter will hurt George Weah more than even anything. Why? If you think you are borrow medicine, you see the contradiction? You borrow medicine, but you take helicopter to fly over the road. So George Weah is destroying George Weah for us. So let me just go to my question, because Dualu got to come in. George, I want you to walk us through the mind of George Weah. If anybody knows George Weah or President Weah better, that's you. Walk us through the mind of George Weah. Who is calling the shot? Is he the man that's going to rig this election?
Unfortunately, I'm not his psychologist.
No, you know him. You were with him.
Or his psychiatrist. No, but the reality is, like I told you guys, everything that happens around George Weah is led by George Weah. George Weah is aware. He may use other people as peon in a game of chess and sacrifice them like he did with McGill. He will have use for Samuel Twer, and that use will go away, and he will throw him out too. He will bring around who satisfy his ego and his curiosity. That's what he does. And what will happen in the interim of one leaving, another one will come. So nobody tell you that this person, okay, if McGill was influencing George Weah, since McGill was sanctioned and terminated, do you know how many other things have happened? So it's like, it's easy. I think in Liberia, we have this philosophy that because we cannot talk to the chief directly, let's just blame the people in the town. It's easier to leave the big man and blame the people around him. But none of those people ran for the presidency. None of those people put their picture on the ballot. Who is responsible for the day-to-day affairs of our country? The president we elected. You want to put cat around you, put it around you. You are the one we are holding accountable. You want to put dogs around you, put it around you. You are the one we hold accountable. You want to put all male, all female, or all tall people, all short people around you, go right ahead. You are the one we elected to run the affairs of state. We expect you to get us food, water, electricity, create jobs, make sure our infrastructure matches our population, and we are moving forward as a nation.
George,
We
you gave a
never
political answer. Is George Weah capable of rigging this election? Do you think he's capable of playing this?
You asked me two questions in one. Yes, he is. And not just George Weah, any sitting president, especially one with the ego of George Weah, will not look at defeat in a humble way. So, yes, I'm sure Mr. Weah is doing everything he can. You have heard from within his circle, within his corridor of Representative Gray and other folks saying, but we'll take it. And Ellen took her own at 12. This is not comments that are coming from the back door. These are comments that are emanating from his own table. I have spoken to people who have reiterated to me that he has said he will take it anyway. So it is not a question of if, he will attempt to. He wants to attempt to. He believes the Liberian political system is weak. The elites are weak. They will just talk, and in subsequent time, they will die down. That's it. Did I answer your question accurately?
Yes, yes.
All right. So let me bring in my brother Duado. Duado, thank you. On Saturday, we having a quiet conversation with George Solo. Thank you for joining in. Talk to us.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are on.
Chief
We
Solo,
are in
welcome to the show,
Monserrato.
man.
We are in Monserrato right now, and the chances of CDC, UP, or Mr. Combs winning. That's where you met us.
Yes, I understand. I've been following the show. To the audience, welcome to the show. But you ask a question, and I want to answer that question directly. What a president we are is responsible to some degree of what's been happening in the country. What does he care about the leadership that he holds? Let me answer it this way. When the miners died in Nima County, President Weah was silent. When the issue of rice prices in the country, it was silent. He didn't care. When people were literally, all the just were dying across the country, President Weah did not care. In fact, he was bukaking. He didn't care about what was happening to the country. He was telling the Liberian people that everything in the country was fine. In fact, Monrovia was like Miami, literally taunting the people. President Weah doesn't really care about what Liberians think. And Sola is absolutely right. There is this egotistical side to President Weah because he's been cheered on so much for so long. He believes he can do whatever he wants, and nobody's going to do anything. Nobody cares about anything. President Weah has taken the people's business like play toy. He doesn't care. So, what is Monserrato across the country? In fact, I said this. What did the people in the Southeast want the most besides road? And the man that has proclaimed to be Bear Road medicine is flying over the Bear Road to go to the Southeast. Anybody in Maryland, Grand Cruz, Sano, River G, this location, River says, if you vote for President Weah, you are literally telling the world that you accept what he has done to you. President Weah doesn't even care about your own children's future. I will continue to say this because it's entirely true. President Weah doesn't want to be president. He said this in so many ways. He has shown this in so many ways. Yet and still, people stay around him because they're getting the daily bread. Do you think Twitter really cares about what's happening? McGill's not going to take the brunt of the blame. They know this. It's going to fall on President Weah. And guess what? He doesn't care. Why give the leadership of the country to a man who does not care about anything in the country? Gentleman.
Thank you very much. So you are right. I mean, we saw this helicopter ride over the counties, over the people, the dust. George Solo, you from Grand Jide. The road to Grand Jide going as far as the southeastern region is bad. Coming from Ivory Coast is worse. John Weah doesn't care, like Mr. Duadu said. Now he's using helicopter. How can you ask the people to vote for you? The people that are using the road, though. You are not using the road that you should have fixed, built for 6 years, but you're using helicopter, Mr. Soto.
We talk about ego, Dwalu. Only an egotistical person, even thought more and toward it and told them they will hop on that road if they even take 3 days. Just to show semblance of the people suffering is one that a leader is willing to go through as well. They will be in luxurious cars. They will try to pave the road halfway. But during election, they will take that road as a sense of respect to the people. What George Weah is doing is taking the egotistic nature to the next level because we, the Liberians, have allowed him. He bought a private plane. Nobody said nothing. He take millions of dollars from the central bank. Nobody says nothing. People talk. He say, "Oh, they're talking. Wawa talk." It goes away. The next day, they leave it. Drugs coming in the country. Who's responsible? You can pull all the news on air today. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you will see that same person walking the streets. So He is taking it to the next level. He's taking it to a Gabon level, to a Bongo family level. And he's now using helicopter to go and ask for vote from the same impoverished people who do not have any means of transportation or have never seen a helicopter. The next thing George Weah will do will look at one of his children and tell your Liberian people they are compelled to be president of that country. It will become a kingdom like Morocco. Because I don't know how many chances do you give to one individual to abuse you. This is a nation where people have not gotten paid for 8 months. This is a nation without proper health care or medication. This is a nation with no functioning roads. I don't care if a friend of yours got a helicopter, you say, no, thank you. I want to walk until these roads are fixed. I want to ride my old Toyota until we can bring bigger cars and start manufacturing cars here. And that goes back to what Fatiga was saying. No vision, no thought. It's like you assume something that you wanted to acquire for a long time, and when you finally acquire it, you have no clue what to do with it. George Weah is like a deer in the headlights. So wake up in the morning and go to work is a problem, Stanton. Documents are brought to Jamaica for the president to sign. Just to wear clothes. People elected you to wear clothes and go to the office. Our whole national budget, 500 or almost 1 billion, will put it in your hand. You the president. That money not enough for you. You still bringing drugs. You took all the government ministry, you give it to your different concubine, then down to our election commission. You share everything with your children. Everybody say, okay, that you turn. But at what point will you get tired? At what point will you understand that this country is bigger than you? 25 million came up, no story. The other amount of million come out, no story. And when you start to articulate these things and hold people accountable and say, oh, you're being personal. Yes, I am being personal. And when you let her use Stanton or Gibson or Fatiga tomorrow, I will be even more personal.
It is personal. It is personal.
It is personal. You're taking my food away from me. You're taking my health care away from me. You're taking my kids' future away from them. Isn't it personal? And when you get to what people murder, then they say, oh, the man ruined the cause, man. Well, how about you stealing from me? How about you stealing from my children? What about you stealing from my brothers and sisters on a day-to-day basis? They can't even afford food. Kids at a young age have to do things they don't have business doing.
Let me set this up, Josh. You got Samuel Twe from the southeastern part of the country. George Weah, Funati Kofa, Buffer Chimbo, Albert Chie. Let's let the LRA, Dona. You got most of them.
This is something that we Southeasterners don't take lightly. And I think it has been represented over and over. There's a bunch of Morovia boys who, when it comes to job and affiliation, they can say that I come from, you'll be misrepresented that, oh, the Southeast. If all those people were real Southeasterners, people who live in the Southeast and care about the Southeast, we'll be talking about road business. We'll be talking about road business. The men still around Morovia, they go to Tolman High, time to get job, all of them know their country need. What are you talking about? Those are not representation of the Southeastern people. We were represented when we had names we could call like Clay and this person and that person because we knew those people were from there. We knew the laws they were bringing were for their mother and fathers, and they were going to make the difference. That's when you could say Southeasterners were in the government. But now there's this kind of fictitious, inept government where people only care about themselves and everybody is about their pocket. Then you say Southeasterners are there. You know what? Papa Chimok and Pato go Maryland. It's a part through Arico. A responsible man, eh? A responsible man.
I can't understand the Arico's part. Why would people pass through Arico's?
Because Arico face their own role. And you face your own year. That's why you pass there. I would say one reason you can take somebody home.
So no car can plow that road at all. It's so bad that it's like a dish.
My friend, which role engineering cannot conquer?
Thank you.
That's the problem.
You know that question about whether it's a ditch, is not a ditch, that road been existing for years. We all have driven on that road. Every road needs construction and maintenance and care. Simple. That's it. The people fixing small road between here, and Pinsville. between Pinsville and Pinsville, Congotan Barrow, and we are making noise about roads. The real roads that are supposed to affect our development, the real roads that are supposed to change the lives of our people and make the interior accessible. That the roads we're talking about, they're taking helicopter to power, they're passing through Ivory Coast. You know, so it's just a sense
So
of
let's
being
play this.
irresponsible.
So let's play
Stato,
this.
go yeah.
Yeah, let's play this real quick. And then we'll go to the phone line, Mr. Duadu. We'll ask the Liberian people. Did George Manneh wear a helicopter that taking him to the southeastern? Will you vote for him? Because now he's going to talk to you and he enter your country by helicopter. But let's play this. And I want you guys to observe though. He up there, but look at the thing that beneath him. Look at those. Amen. Amen. Let's play.
Flying over.
Let's play one more time. Look at this Zen and how terrible the picture set present itself. So, George, my question to you, George Soto, that's your friend. He was your brother or he is your brother. You guys went up and down to the valley and the high top of the mountain. George Manneh will get a helicopter, people living in the field, and he flying over them. George Manneh will a helicopter though. It's flying. And people,
You know, they say picture say 1,000 words. A picture explains everything. And when someone talk about the ego, that picture right there is an egotistical picture. It's a picture of one individual flying high and mighty, and the rest of the nation. That garbage that you see below that helicopter is all of us. It's Liberia. It's for people who should be having our resources. Whenever your people have to look up to see you, you have a problem. Whenever, as a leader, your people have to look up to see you, you have a problem. And so that picture you just showed, that's George we are down for. Like Gibson said, he has a 45 on his side, and he just shooting himself in the leg every day. That helicopter you just saw, that was supposed to be praised, that helicopter will end up being his demise. Because really, this is the biggest insult to the electorate. This is the bigger insult to the voters. This is the bigger insult to democracy, where I will keep the road ugly. I will use all the money as I want because I can afford helicopter to go campaign. How does that helicopter reflect fairness? How does that helicopter reflect mature judgment? How does that helicopter reflect thought of your people? This is a time where the leader is supposed to be walking in the mud, pushing car as well, so that the people can see his sincerity towards fixing the road. So if the first thing he brought helicopter, the second thing, the man will bring special jet plane I can store in the air, and that road will be like that. That's why he's telling them.
Stato,
Basically, that's why he's telling them.
let
And I
me give
agree.
you guys a personal
So,
experience. Let me
so you
let
add
me
on
give a
to Josh. Let me just say this. I think Stato asked a specific tailored question. You are from Grand Jeda, and the man is going to be passing over the road to get to Grand Jeda, to get to Zwedru, to tell the people in Zwedru to vote for him. Let me tell you, one of the reasons why Grangidians voted for George Weah multiple times in massive number is because they believe in him, that he was going to fix that road, knowing that they identify with him at the time. But George Weah first 6 years, he didn't even think about the road. So the road now is cut completely. It's badly bad. And he wants to go tell them to vote for him. He's going to tell Grand Junior, even though I messed your road, I mean, I didn't care for them about your road. Your road is messed up. You had the hope that I was going to fix this road. I didn't fix it, but give me the second term, then I will fix it. Who the Grand Junior in Grand Junior country that look like a foolish person that think Georgia will fix that road when you gain this power for the second time? This is why Georgia is going to lose Grand Junior. And even if Georgia wins Grand Junior, he will win it at the skin of his teeth, because the people in the Southeast have begun to realize But I thought this was our son. I thought we believed that this man was going to help this road connectivity to reach us. Oh, okay. You call yourself Bar Road Medicine. Since you face the road leading to my house, then a good road you finish facing. Or those little small roads between the houses, when you face 18, you finish facing roads. The main roads that you need to fix. The road leading from Ganta to Harper. The road passing through Buchanan to River Cess, going to RTR Junction, going straight to Sano. These are the roads that need to be fixed. When you fix this road, we call you Bar Road Medicine. At this point, Joshua is not Bar Road Medicine, and they should stop saying that about him.
Let me say this, Stanton. Let me just say this one thing. I know going to something. In the last couple of years, I have made it my duty, and this is where you know that George Weah doesn't have the political will. He doesn't care. They are taking money and they are eating the money. That's the first thing. But this is my revelation in the South region. For a couple of times, I used to do business in the South region, so I used to trade between Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia. Only in Liberia, I grew up knowing that to build a 20 or 30 kilometer of road, it would take 10, 15, 20 years. I didn't know that those things can be done in 6 months. I didn't know that you can actually build a long stretch of road in 6, 7 months, 3 months. In Liberia, I was made to believe, given the length of time people take to just do a little small stretch of road. I will give you an example in Conakry. When this guy took what they call him, Mamadi Doumbouya took over. There's a place called Koya to the Sierra Leonean side of the border called Pamela. I left from Guinea 3 months, came here, went back. The people have 4 lanes from Koya, and I'm talking about almost like 300-400 miles that were almost done with street light. I went to Sierra Leone, Bull Waterside, the boat that if any of you have been to Bull Waterside, few years ago I went to Bull Waterside. On the Sierra Leonean side, the people have facial recognition. From Bull all the way going to Wall Street Town now is paved, completed. On the Liberia side, that Cape Man Road, that was one of the best highway we have. The road, Shedding Park already cut in two. Poor maintenance. People can barely plow that road anymore. Then I keep wondering, why is it so hard to get this thing done in Liberia? When George Weah have taken millions from our road fund, from our Liberia Reconstruction and Development Trust Fund. Millions. Look at the road for Rawalpindi, what they did there. If there were other projects, that Rawalpindi highway would have been completed by now. They're even over budget right now, and the road is still like a wash bowl.
No, but Fadiga, let me come in for a second. Look, we are beating a dead horse, but my brother Jeroen said this. The people in the Southeast are not crazy. They see exactly what's going on. President Weah may be claiming to be from the Southeast, and Solo is right. These guys only claim Southeast when it favors them or it benefits them in some fashion. The true people in the Southeast understand what's going on there. But I want to say this. Look, how can you be president of an entire country where your main focus is, I want to boost my morale? You guys remember when you first came to power? I mean, you're the president. How much more morale booster do you need to becoming the president of a country? President Weah only cares about the fanfare of the office and not the responsibilities that come with this office. Look, President Weah see himself in a helicopter. Yeah, my man, the people are looking at me. I'm boosting my morale. While our mothers are dying in childbirth. This is how the boy sees this thing. The people in the Southeast, and yesterday, I love what Stanton did to my brother Fadiga. We ain't giving him nothing because he deserves nothing. He does not deserve the Southeast. He doesn't. He does. Look, the people in River G want role. They want some opportunity to get job creation in that. They need access to their capital city. These are Liberian citizens that have been separated from the capital forever. Look, President Weah has a responsibility. Look, if you talk, I'll give you a quick example before I do this. Between Laos and Vietnam, it's almost 500 kilometers. We literally make that road pliable in less than 3 months. This is how we did it. Liberia has granite all over the country. Anywhere you go to get granite. And everybody that lives in America or Western location, you see those rock crusher, the green giant machines. You can put in a rock here, ground it. Those things cost around 150,000 to 200,000 a piece. What they did was for every 20 miles, they put one there. They took those granite, they put down the mine, they blast them, they put them over the road, they remove the clay, put them over the road and put the compactor. The road is good for 20 years. And then what they started doing, any car that goes on that road, they charge you $100 LD. every month we pay for mile or road. The road will pay for itself because there is granite along the road. You don't need a lot of money. $50 million can make the road from Ganta all the way to Hopper. You can do that with $50 million. You don't need to pave the road. With granite, you blast the granite, you ground it, and you pour it on the road. You compact it, it's good. But these guys.
Have you seen how the people construct a road in Liberia? I was going through that standing called the Ganta Road. I see 3 people on the road. How can
so guys, we understand. I just want us to stick to this. Fadiga is very important. I want us to stick to this issue about Josh Manor. We are flying. We want to open the phone line and ask the Liberian people. Now the president got his private plane. He has his private helicopter now. Will you vote for him as he fly over your county, as he fly over your district, as he fly over your home? Will you still vote for President George Manor?
No, don't say it like that. As he fly over your sick children, as he fly over your hungry children, as he fly over your home that don't have a roof, as he fly over the garbage where outside.
Thank you very much. So, folks, we are now having that conversation. Let's take our first round of phone call. We believe that it is important for you to understand it's election season. President, we have damaged our country. Thank you for coming back, Mr. Damo Slanger. And by the way, Damo birthday passed long time. Don't ask me if we're collecting money for Damo. I stopped collecting. Somebody here texting me when we're collecting Damo money. Just send it to me. I will eat it. But again, Damo, let's open the phone line. Let's hear from Liberians themselves, though. It is important. The president have his private jet. The president having his private air helicopter right now. He's flying over all the garbage. He's flying over you. You cannot go to Sano County by road. You cannot. Listen, I got a video here from one of the former staff from Spoon Talk. A Michael woman got stuck in the, a pregnant lady got stuck in the mud. I want to share this video with you. The pregnant lady, Emmanuel Kotu, recorded this, got stuck in the mud, and this is horrible, but I want you to listen to it yourself. Let's take some call, Mr. Dama. Let's take some call.
I'm sending you another video too.
All right.
Okay, folks, the numbers to call 077771075, 05551101075. Again, 077771075, 05551101075. 1 minute per caller. Please go straight to the point so that we can take as many callers as possible. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yes, some of people calling from Lower Kingsburg.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, everything that they say on that platform there, the president of this country did not care for the people. How long can we say this thing to people for them to hear? This man only think about himself, how he can get his wealth. What more can we say? Set people up in Grand Chia, in Grand Crew, they cannot find no drugs. They cannot even get the food to transport from Milwaukee to that area. Right now, gasoline gas is 1,500, even plus in Grand Gia, Grand Cruise, and whatever it is. So I mean, now I just vote them there on one time and be finished with the whole thing. It's too much for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you out.
How are you, Tom?
Fine. Kindly reduce the volume of your radio. The feedback is terrible.
You all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Wallace, how are you, sir? Yeah, that's a question that Wallace asking. They're putting days now, about month and days now. So that's what was Nimi flying over 100 Nimi to over the ghettos. Yeah, the type of flower ghetto too. But all that was missing it. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, brother.
Good evening. Let's hear you out, please.
I'm Sean Kotati, and I hail from Grand Creek County. They are not calling from Grand Creek County, but I hail from Grand Creek County. And my own point, I even wish to speak crude dialect so that if President George was listening, so he will hear me speaking crude. Taba clean your G. Thank you very much. And what I was saying in the dialogue is that you will see how people can hear in the eyes. Thank you very much. I'm so Kotati again.
Thank you for calling. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you out.
Are you coming on?
Fine, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay. To the James White, I call from Sano.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to appreciate Gary Clinton and the rest of you panelists in studio or online. But it is friend with you. We are resolved. We, the people of Sano, we are resolved to take the to Ambassador. So we are serious. Jerry Maggie in Sano, I can speak to you. Most of the schools are not open. Most of the schools, because we got money to pay our children's school fees. Most of the schools, they're not they're full for their children to go to school. But me, how much they carry me? How much they carry me? I got 2 masters of the Lord. I'm working directly with the government. I'm a 7. The government kept my pay 75%. I'm even order a full for my family. And it's even coming on time. Then we must carry this government. Trust me, we're going to pay Jawia, President Wia. We're going to pay him. We're going to pay him or 10. Or 10, all the blessedness that he do, the extra spiritual carry, the medal today in chapter in the new capital to go and to come to us to the South East. You're what to see. We will pay him. We will pay him when it comes up to 10.
Thank you, sir.
We got a clear payment for Jawia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
I'm Jared Boza Jr. I'm calling from Single Village.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this got to do with the president writing a chopper to go whatever he is going to. So, for the president to ride chopper to me is not strange. This man is a president, and then he needs to be safe wherever he going. So, if he getting in a chopper because he want to reach to the place in going, it's not anything.
Okay, sir. Your point is well taken. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Hello. Let's hear you out, please.
Woe unto the people of the Southeast. Woe unto the people of the Southeast. You don't have to woe unto them?
No.
I'm Paula Siwala Wiki of Show Clinic. A regular listener to you. This is my first time calling. You have successfully told on so many presidents. It is so easy. I never had a beautiful and successful road that can get to you. What are you need to stop them? We are the president, which is one of our favorite men, but it's war to hit you. Why you cannot try another person? Eddie, it's not for the Southeast. It is from way up to me. So I come to say yes, I will make the whole area to be accessible to vehicles. Judge King, we're all protecting. They're not able to get to you people. If you should put him back again, war onto them.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
Let's hear you.
You guys in studio.
Go ahead, sir. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for the discussion. I'll carry on now. But I want to ask few questions. Hello?
Sir, go ahead. You're live on the radio. Go to your point, please.
What I'm saying, the president, no serious rule, no serious rule. Well, two presidents, and all they telling what impact, but Why she never get all her development? And at times she was here. Donated a lot. The Georgia government. 12 years. Why she never get all her development? So I say that with the milk, all her development. You guys say it was you. You can get development.
All right, sir. Your point is well taken.
So
That's a
let me
question.
Yeah, thank you. The points are well taken. It's for or against. We are here to tell you the story. It's up to you. But let me go ahead and play this from Emmanuel Kotu. What actually took place. Don't you leave us here, Diamond. We'll go back to the phone line. Let's just play this clip.
Okay, guys. So those of you watching us, I'm just traveling along the road from Konya to Sasa, and this ambulance is stuck here. And I've been told by people taking out that the nurses are taking this woman. She came from Zigida, from the information I got her, from Konya, and then
almost 2 hours that bleeding they can find.
Let me go to the one. You said how long you've been here?
1 hour and some minutes. I'm gonna break down.
So what's your name?
My name is L. Freeman from Konya Health Center.
You've been here for 1 hour?
Plus, a minute. Wow. I'm gonna do that whole battery. I'm only making a give up battery with tractor, no way. I'm people are different to our battery to go charge it. I'm trying to push it and get the critical patient with their OPC bleeding with their HP that 5 grand. So when I stand, I'm 1 hour so just machine.
So, they kind of situation, what's the duration for all to be to the next hospital? That you will say they want for all to get it on time?
But now we have spent more than 1 hour here. So we don't know. The ambulance breakdown, no good battery.
So guys, and she said if the road were good, long time would be in Zozo. Pregnant woman bleeding in the car. Let me bring you in, Mr. Duadu. This is scary though. This is horrible.
Look, Stanton, look, this is real. It's happening to our people. Sometimes Solo said this best. When we stay in Monrovia, even though Monrovia is extremely difficult, I want you to compound the hardship in Monrovia by 10 if you go into in all of Monrovia into the counties. But this person that called and say in 12 years, see, these things have this thing that's about 12 years. Compare the output of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf 12 years and compare what President we have done in 6 years. Take any one of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf 6 years and compare. Ellen Johnson paved the road from Monrovia all the way to Ganta, from Monrovia to Buchanan. We're talking about major corridor across the country. Most of Monrovia had to be repaved. We're talking about the SKD Boulevard were repaved. Most of these roads had to be repaved across the street. Even going into Cinco had to be repaved. President Weah has not paved 25% of what Ellen Johnson Sirleaf paved across the country in the span of 12 years. So when you're making this comparison, you need to understand this. Our people are dying. Look, first of all, why should you transport somebody from another location, almost an hour, to another location to see decent health care? I know when I have specialty issues, I get it, but it seems that almost every single case, go into Greenville, go into Sesto. I was in Sesto 4 months ago. Nothing there is like in the 1700s.
Wow. So, Georgie, let's bring you up to speed. Come talk to us, George. The issue is that we are seeing this thing every day. But President, we are saying, you know what? I'm going to fly over it. I care less. But you said it right, though, because people say we should give you the time to expand on what you said. The president is in helicopter flying so hard, and the masses right beneath him. And it is why it is. But some people say it's okay. President Weah didn't build the road. It's okay. President Weah rejected them. Some of them saying, listen, why are you complaining about the president? What say you, George?
We all have it. We all have people in our society who have no expectation for themselves, and thereby they have no expectations for their leaders. And that young man is one of those individuals you can hear in the tone of communication. Now, when someone is referencing a past government, it means you are in the past. When Madame Sirleaf was there, we held her accountable and we spoke. There's no reference to Madame Sirleaf now. We are looking at the individual who have carried the responsibility for our national resources for 6 years. So because Ellen did not do something, there's no excuse for we are not to do it. Because we does not do it, there's no excuse for the next president not to do it. For me, that conversation is obsolete. You are there now. You are the one we are holding accountable. You have had 6 years. What have you done? So people who will come with that elementary conversation about, oh, but Joseph Jingenrawa didn't do it. Yeah, I don't care about Joseph Jingenrawa. I care about the person who's presiding now. There's a reason we'll have election every 6 years. Every 6 years, there's a chief of state that is accountable to us. We don't go back 15, 20 years, ask the other people why they didn't do it. But again, this is why I've been hammered into our children's head. This is why I've been hammered into Liberian head. Expect the least. I have done the little. Thank me for the little. So there's not a national patriotic effort to move forward together with a vision from a president who sees the direction of the nation. It is gratitude, 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 ego, ego, ego. And that's what continues to manifest. And that picture is a clarity of it. A helicopter in the air, not a UN helicopter, so there's no war. A private helicopter in the air with your president's sticker on it. And the dirt that is below that place is something that he does not affiliate with. He will not smell, but he can see it. And for those folks that are sitting down, standing by the dirt, like the other guy said, helicopter can also fly over ghetto. But it's the people that are in the ghetto who can go and put your name on paper to make you fly a helicopter. So this picture is perfect for Liberians. It's a manifestation of what's happening. This picture speaks to the reality in Liberia. The president is in the cloud. The president's head is somewhere else. He's above everyone else. He's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. The subjects are below him. Their suffering does not emanate with him. And he does not care.
All right, thank you very much. Fadiga, let's show some of these pictures, right? And you can come in because we got to move on. Let's show this number one. That's President George Weah. He's moving. Number two, as you can see up there, you look at that. Let's zoom in on it. You understand that well. That's exactly where folks want the president to be. They are comfortable.
Look at the contrast, Stanton. Look at the contrast.
Yeah, they are comfortable. The gentleman said, well, the president needs to be protected. He needs to travel faster. But are they missing something, though, Fadika? Seeing the
Yes. They are missing something. Look, the thing with that young man, just from the sound of his voice, he probably in his early 20s or something. These are young people that didn't know, that have never known a better Liberia. They didn't know what Liberia used to be. People can only ask for what they have seen or tasted before. For in this young man's mind, this is what a president is supposed to look like. That president is supposed to get the best thing in the country. They're supposed to be everything's supposed to be for the president. But if George Weah was a father, and I think it was George or Dwalu that said, even the main children, he doesn't take care of them. When Tim mentioned him, he mentioned his mom and did not even mention him. So even as a father, he's not a good father. Now, as the father of the nation, if you have a choice for a very impoverished nation like Liberia to choose between flying a private jet and providing basic necessity, a good father will want to take care of his children. I cringed. I almost shed tears when I saw that young lady in that ambulance. Most likely, she could pass away. And so many
she did. She died. Yes, she died. I was just waiting to let you guys know that the lady died in that. So we're gonna play it again and remind the folks. Because of Barrow, that pregnant lady passed. Go ahead.
That pregnant lady will have several of that story that we can talk in Liberia. That woman's story is not unique to that topic. Look, George Weah is a very selfish narcissist. He is an individual that have attached his name to everything. 14 military hospital. He retired the 14 just because he doesn't want no Liberian to be like him or up-pave him. There's some man that you will be surprised he will build Royal and Port 14, Invincible Park after the Invincible 11 or whatever. He personalized everything I have to say. They was like, look, what did George Weah do for Liberia people? What? Look at Draba. Look at other things. What did George Weah really do in Liberia that will impact a huge portion of our population? Nothing. We are giving this man with a bad character so much power. He's abusing our resources. When I see him fly, this man doesn't care. How long will it take for people to know? But one good thing happened though. The argument that George Weah is a good president or he has something for Liberia, he loves the country, George Weah himself has dispelled that. So he cannot even argue. We have 6 years to show. Look, one of the things, I'll close on this. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the Liberia that she took over in 2005 was a complete failed state. Ellen had to tackle multitude of things. Or 64 or 80 something $million budget. I used to work with MBI during the Taylor administration. We never got paid for 3-4 months. I even know how we managed to even get paid. You're talking about roads. Almost all the roads. Most of the homes in Liberia were riddled with bullets. Electricity. The lady, at least she can show 2 or 3 things through her tenure that, look, go Bikeno, like a super highway. Look at the Ganta Highway. What is George have been his achievement? Invisible Park was drainage. I'll get our children. You see that swimming pool, and none of his children go there. He placed on. He put it right to the junction where everybody will see it all day. It's all a charade for this man. The man is not a serious human being. Why did Liberia make that mistake?
Thank you.
People want to rationalize.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Dwadu.
That picture with the helicopter with the zing rank, can you put that picture up? I really appreciate it. I want to talk about it. This is good. I want Liberians to see the contrast of this. President, we are towers above you, and you are living in this abject condition with mosquitoes. Your children are living under this condition. Everything you do is to elevate this man, while the man does everything to literally bury you. I mean, literally bury you and your children. Most of the cemeteries in Liberia are full right now. You go to the Peloton Cemetery up in Bonafide, is full. Across the country, Dubaro Cemetery is full. Our people are dying like children because this president only cares about flying over them, enjoying the good life, and not going to work. So don't say this. The president hardly ever goes to work. This man is just comfortable being in the home. This boy sees bringing a slingshot to the country. I'm with Tiri Tire, where he was bluffing with. This is something that makes President Weah feels that he's a man. How old is he? 54, 55 years old? Why has this man not realized that you have a golden opportunity to leave a great legacy to your people? President Weah's contribution to Liberians, so-called in the refugee camp and all around, was sitting at a table, drinking, following behind small girls. There was nothing substantial he was doing. Don't put him in the same class as the likes of Drogba that's trying to leave a legacy far beyond themselves, or the Mutembos of the world. Most of these players, or all these soccer players, they left something tangible in the country. President Weah's own personal house in Liberia, before he came to power, he could barely, his wife would not even enter the house because it was not habitable. This is a man we take an entire country, we give it to him, and we expect the man to produce beyond his station. Look, you can only produce to the level that you are capable of. President Weah is incapable of giving you a Liberia that provides jobs, that provides adequate sanitation, that provides water, adequate electrification. Everything he's riding on are the remnants for Eddie Johnson City administration. He has not created anything substantial over the last 6 years with almost $4 billion budget. Let me say again, almost $4 billion budget according to themselves. That's what President Weah has had over the last 6 years. What does he have to show for it?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just so we'll be going back to the phone line, but something is disturbing happening. The mindset of our people, the mindset of the Liberian people, Georgie.
Yeah, the mindset of the Liberian people wavers, but I think a majority, specifically the adults, they know right from wrong, and when they are concentrated on change, it takes place. Like Fatiga said earlier, our youth have been conditioned and reconditioned to expect less and less. And not just out of government, out of their parents, out of their friends, out of their community. When you live in a society where everyone is struggling for the next meal, it's a crab mentality. And so it's kind of, dog eat dog. And I think that's why our youth have experienced for a long time. And with the inclusion of the president into music and the flashiness, They also gave them a symposium to say it's okay to be flashy. The difference there is it's okay to own a helicopter if you have your private business and you made your own money. I don't really care if you fly over Nukuta or even throw paper down. We'll just tax you for it. But when you're using taxpayer money, when you're using the national wealth, and it's reflective of the people not getting what is theirs, I have a problem with that. A lot of young people will not have a problem with that. And that's the mentality that's increased on the street now. That's why robbery and all of those things, kidnapping and all of those things in Liberia, ritualistic killing, and all of those things have increased. It's this desire to get that money quick. And where do kids learn these things from? From their very president. The president's entire effort in life is to get that money and to get it quick. And that's how kids create adults. This is like, okay, this is my adult. I want to be like this person. I want to get that money quick. Don't matter if I bring drugs. I want to get that money quick. Don't matter if I'm stealing from my own people. I want to get that money quick. That's what led to the bongos and Mabutus and all of these inadequacies in distribution of resources in Africa. So it's the same old thing. So I do not fault that young man for his level of conversation, but there's a base of adults in Liberia who know what it is to be a better Liberia, who know what it feels like when you live in a better Liberia, who know what leadership looks like, who have very, very clear expectation for leaders, who want to see the nation move forward. And I think those people are in the majority.
So guys, now here we are. I just want us to understand something very quick. Fadiga, I will start with you. The last time we discussed about George Manawiya chances of winning the election or losing the election. Let's talk about CDC and George Manawiya. Lofa, your take, Fadiga.
I think George Weah, if there were any hope in Lofa County, I think he lost that yesterday. There is a history that Lofa came out 98% in 2017. This time around, I'm looking at around the same number coming out for Ambassador Boyka.
So let's talk. Okay, so let's talk about. I'm going to give you 5 out of the 15. Let's talk about Nima County.
Nima County is gone as well. Nima County are looking at giving.
I spoke to someone today concerning Nima because the biggest fear from their side, and Eduardo, I want you to listen to this, is because of the councillor Tewon Gonglo. But now Tewon Gonglo, then they begin to recalibrate now, knowing very well they do not want to be a stumbling block to the chances of the opposition. So therefore, they said Tewon Gonglo will come up with, they're having a meeting, I think, in 2 days, Monday or so, Sunday or Monday. The Gonglo camp coming together to make a decision as to, after the first round, this is very important, Mr. Eduardo, what next? Because they know very well, everything Tewon have done, Councillor Gonglo have done, is not going to be him this time around. So then what next? And most political parties will come with this what next thing. And I can tell you for free, it is why it is. Nimba, your take, Don Fadika, Jowia or JB?
JB. And let me tell you something about the Tewon Gonglo. I've been following Tewon Gonglo not only in Nima or around the country. Look, every election, every politician are guarded by data. Tewon Gonglo already know his position. And he's from the Nemanon belt. There is no way that this man, look, the people in Nima, they are they have not come this close. I mean, they have been vice president and something, but here is an opportunity for Nima County. The candidate have given the president in the last 3 elections. So from 2005, 2011, 17, and now 2016. So it's going to be this, Nima going to decide this election. And Nimadians know this. There is no way.
So let's make it quick. So you giving Nima to George, but I want you to just don't speak.
I think I would.
No, Stanton, you should turn this conversation around to save us time. Say, which county can George Weah win? And that's where we're going to argue because.
Okay, all right, let's do this. Yeah, we got 50 more minutes.
Because the one that is clear he will lose is many.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. You are right. Hold on 1 minute, Fadiga. Fadiga, hold on. You are right, Georgie. Let's start with which country you think you can give George Manawiya? Which country is he winning?
George Weah might win Sano. And this is why. I'm saying he might win Sano a few or Grand G there, by a slim margin. But this is what's going to happen. The same winning streak that George Weah had in 2017. Ambassador Boyka going to win in similar order with the exception of Grand G there, Sano.
So hold on, we're not talking about Ambassador Boyka. Yeah, I want to control this real quick.
George Weah, no. I see.
How many counties are you giving George Weah to win and why?
I'm giving almost every 2 or 3 in the Southeast.
To win
That's Sano,
in the entire Liberia.
In the entire Liberia. In my very slim margin.
Dualu, are you buying that? Can you think George Weah win 3 or 4?
I think he will win.
No, River says. Sorry. He might win slim.
Well, I'm not sure about River says because he won 39.6% in River says last time around. Last election 2017, my first round. So based on the way the numbers will be shifted, I think he can win 4 counties. And those counties are, I'm giving him Grand Crew County. I'm talking about simple majority. He not necessarily have to win over 50%, but giving all the people in the race. He will also win River G. I will give him Grand G there, but his number will drop significantly compared to last time around. And he's also going to win Grand G County. So, but I want to say that you did mention Nima very briefly. In the first round last time, President Weah won only 8% out of Nima County. That was the last time before all this yama happened, before the bad governance, before stealing, the killing of the auditors, the winning Nima County football team was treated under President Weah, the kids that died in the mine. We could go on and on and on. You only won 8% before. I expect that number to drop substantially. Now, this is the first round. There is still a strong possibility that Ombo Boyka could win the first round if he's winning some of these counties by the numbers we are looking at. It's very, very possible. This is not saying political bickering. If you look from the Lofa counties, from Nima to Bon County to Margibi County to Moserala County Major, because the first time around in Moserala County, President Weah won 48% of the vote the very first time around in Moserala County. 48% of the vote. He did not crack the 50% mark. This number is expected to drop significantly. Now, if he drops below 30% in Moserala County, which is expected between 25 to 30%, is over for President Weah. He has to win north of 35% in Moserala County to have any chance across the country. Because most of the counties across the country, he's going to lose them heavily. Even places that he won over, I think the highest margin was Grand Jida, he won 75% of Grand Jida in 2017. He cannot win that number again.
Let me hold you there because you talk about Grand Jida too much. Let me ask you a question. Can President Weah win this election if he lost in Nimba, Moserado, Bon County, and Lofa, 4 counties? Can he win?
No. Based on what everybody is saying to you.
Georgie, I beg you, let me give 30 seconds to Duadu. Duadu, 4 counties, just 4. Nimba, Lofa, Bon, and Moserado. Can George Weah win without winning any of those 4 counties or all of them?
That means we'll have to win every other county with over 85%. So I would say no, it's not possible.
But so
if you lose these 4 counties that you just listed, if you lost them over 50%, if Ombo Boyka wins over 50% in these 4 counties, he lost automatically. Because these are the most populous locations. Remember now, I want for you to understand, about 80% of the votes are actually in Lofa, Nimba, Bon, Margibi, Moserado, and Grand Bassa. Over about 80% of the vote are central in that location. If President Weah lose 4 of those counties, there's no freaking way he can win. It doesn't matter how you spin the numbers, he cannot win. Because he cannot win over 60% any one of the other counties because he has already won. Let me give you a quick overview. In Maryland, he won 47% first round. In Grand Crew, he won 63%. River G was 59%. Grand Jida was 75%. Sando was 71%. Riverside was 39%. And I jumped to Moserado. He won 48% in Moserado. This is the first round vote. All of these will be reversed. All of these will be reversed. But I want to keep this in mind. He only won 8% in Nima County the first time around 2017. Can he go beyond that 8%? I strongly doubt it in Nima County.
All right, so let me bring it just to the judge. This thing is concerning because we are going down the wire. Nima County, Lofa County, Bon County, Moserado. You are not giving it to George Weah. Are you saying then election is over the first round? Or the chances that Joseph Boyka go into the second round with a very, very high margin?
Yes, it's either over the first round. Buckeye is going to the second round with a very high margin, but definitely Buckeye is going into the lead in the second round. Now, the mistrust between the government and most parties, the inability of the government to move the nation forward, the trust factor with living up to whatever is agreed or expected. This is where I will graduate the conversation. We have already all agreed that it is mathematically impossible for
Correct.
Mr. Weir with his same three counties that we gave him, which is Sano, Grand Cru, Grand Jita, with a very small margin at the most. Very small margin. So anything past 51 or anything like that. When you start to look at those numbers, it becomes impossible to see any way out of it, especially from those counties where, like Waldo said, 80% of the votes are concentrated. The counties that we are giving have very small number of registered voters. So the Grand Chile, the Sino, those are very small numbers compared to the Lofa, Bong, Monserrato, and the places where he's going to get heavily hammered. So if you ask me for my prediction, it's Buckeye first round, but due to the inconsistencies in Liberian politics and the number of candidates and the tribal affiliation, the family affiliation, I'll say at the worst, Buckeye going into the second round in the league.
All right. So my thing is that, Georgie, we took off, Eduardo, this is very important though. Lofa, Nimba, Bon, Monserrato. These guys are doing everything possible. But let's look at the individuals in those counties. Darius DeLong is in Monserrato. The people rally around Darius DeLong. 2 executive election. And now he's serving a 9 years term in the Senate. Darius DeLong. With all the money Thomas Father and CDC spent, Darius DeLong and the troop, they beat them. So now, Unity Party, Joseph Boaga depending on Darius DeLong and the troop in Monserrato. Don't forget the Yeke factor. Though Yeke may not come out open and say, I support Joseph Boaga, but he can lead the troop likewise. Yeke, Darius DeLong, Unity Party, they're all right there in Monserrato. Let's go to Bon County. Prince Moi.
Yeah.
Prince Moi won the recent election in Bon County.
Look, that's a big push in Bon County.
Exactly.
County.
Prince Moi beat Joa Howard Taylor and her team in Bon County. Say what you want to say.
Last time, Honorable Boaga won 34% in Bon County, very first round. 34%.
That's the Boaga. I'm coming all the way to 2020. I want to
I understand that. But I want you to understand something about Monserrato County. Their president, we are won 48% of Monserrato County. Of that 48%, he won in Monserrato County in the first round 2027. About 50% of those people were not seditionists. They just want another alternative. They want to give President Weah a chance. Most of the people voted for President Weah because they were tired with a UP 2-year rule. So 50% of that 40% are not going to vote for him. Here's another thing you have to understand. Most of those people that were voting seditions, so-called sedition, most of them, their own word, they're disenchanted seditions. So they're staying away from President Weah. Like I said, in Monserrato County, of the close to 900,000 vote in this location, I will be shocked if President Weah can win more than 30% of this vote. This is the only place he has hope. If you go back to Bon County, he's lost in Bon County heavily because Joa Howard Taylor said, they don't need Bon County to win the elections. If you go to Grand Bassa County, in Grand Bassa County, President Weah won only 27.1% in the first round in Grand Bassa County 2017. Now, in Grand Bassa County, what does he have going over there? If you have the Charlene factor in Grand Bassa County, you have the Youngly factor in Grand Bassa County, the Milton family factor in Grand Bassa County, the Dillon factor in Grand Bassa County. Remember now, Dillon is actually from Grand Bassa County. There is a high probability President Weah will not get a lot of vote out of Grand Bassa County.
Are you taking Grand Bassa from Joe Weah?
Joe Weah cannot win Grand Bassa because guess what? He lost Grand Bassa by 70% last time in the first round. He only won 27% of the vote in Grand Bassa County in the first round.
No. I don't want to. Let me stick with Grand Bassa. Say you bring Grand Bassa.
Okay.
You have how important is the CPP factor in Grand Bassa?
CPP,
the Western Family, the Charlene Bronsky, and all of them.
Well, for me, I would give CPP close to 30% in Grand Bassa County with the Western Finley factor and the Charlene Bronsky factor. Remember now, Charlene is not her father. Her father is different from Charlene. However, Grand Bassa on the UP side does have tremendous amount of influence in that location.
Like who? Call names.
Yomi Kanga Lawrence. Yomi Kanga Lawrence
What?
has a big sway.
They lost Hans Bashi though. Hence may his soul rest in peace. Hans Bashi, a very strong force, passed away.
Correct.
Can
But
you
guess what? He supported Black
can you
before passing away.
uncap it? Can you uncap it?
Well, Akape was a former senator in that location, so he has some clout in
He's
Grand
still a
Bassa
senator,
County.
though. You can't say he's a
still
former.
senator, I'm sorry. He's
Yeah.
still a senator, so he had tremendous clout in that location. Remember now, Grand Bassa is not too far away from the capital city. Margibi and Grand Bassa has the same demographic. It's a Bassa belt going all the way. In fact, most of Monserrato, the electorate in Monserrato, I would put the number around 30% would be coming from the Bassa belt. So there's a huge influence. As the people vote in Morovia, you will see that same consistency in Margibi County.
So I beg you, let digest the county that you think is troubling right now. Which county troubling right now? Let's stick on this one, troubling county. Something that you said, see, the Unity Party got to work on. Which county? To you, which county is purple to say for Unity Party?
For me right now, the county I want Unity Party to focus on will be Grand Jita, River G, Grand Crew, and Maryland. Which Bonnie and Balu, they're doing a great job in the Southeast. They have to reduce President Weah's number in the Southeast heavily, and they're doing that. Given the way President Weah has treated the people in the Southeast, President Weah is not going to get these same numbers in the Southeast. He's not going to get them. I'll be surprised if he get over 55% in any one of those counties in the Southeast. In fact, before he only got 47% in Maryland County in the first round. In Maryland County, when he maintained 47% at Dowling, he got 63% in the Grand Crew. He's not going to get that same number in Grand Crew. In River G, he got 59% in the first round in River G. He's not going to get that same number in River G. Grand Jita was 75%. He's not going to get 75% in Grand Jita. So if he's been taken away out of these locations, where's he going to get a vote? In fact, in Lofa, he got only 7% out of Lofa.
No, forget Lofa.
Numbers. So the way President we are, the only hope that Fadi Garcia is in Monserrato, but he cannot win more than 25% in Monserrato. That means
let me bring in the other guys. Fadiga is laying some things out yet. Also, before we go to Duado is laying this thing up. Before we go to Fadiga, let me bring you in, Georgie. The issue is that you from Grand Jita. What hope can you give Liberians to not listen to you that Boakai can win Grand Jita?
Fadiga.
Because of the work that has been done. Because of the work that has been done and because of the way the people have shown up in Grand Jita. Now, like we said, when you look at the road situation, when you look at the proximity and treatment of the Toho family and the Crown people within his government, there's a lot of things that are setting Grand Jitans apart in this election in terms of their decision. And I spoke to the campaign team that is headed by the former superintendent, Peter Solo, and the excitement there is high. So don't think of Grand Jitans as cows or goats that do not have a sense of their own and a sense of responsibility and self-awareness. And we'll show that this election, George Weah, if he even wins Grand Jita County, will not be, like Balu said, by any margin, because we are going toe-to-toe with him. We are enlightening the people to these issues. We are enlightening the people to what their lives should be like. And so we can say that the race is on in Grand Jita County. This weekend, the vice tenor bearer of the UP, Senator Barney, and others are going to be in the county. The youth are excited. The people are excited to have that train there. So I think the work has been done to offset what was done for the CDC there in previous years.
I will ask you, John Soto, before we go to Fadiga, is CPP a spoiler in this race?
No, I consider a spoiler someone that has impact, that is able to spoil. I think CPP is just a distraction.
Wow. Josh, Don Fadiga, are you in agreement with what our brother Josh Soto said? Is CPP a spoiler or distractors?
They are distraction, but beyond that, I think George was very generous to the CPP. I think the CPP is in collaboration with the CDC. Everything that we have seen, everything we have suspected. When Jelon came here and said that the Madam wanted them to support Mr. Cummings, that was not a joke. And I know the AB Darius Jelon for a long time throughout my life. He's not a man that would just make up those kind of stories, especially with Madam Salif. We all know what is wrong. There are certain big hands in Liberia that are petrified with this idea that Ambassador Boyka will be the next president. Now you see the Euro have joined that bandwagon. Now other individuals that have joined that bandwagon because they are not in the driver's seat in the forefront. They want to do everything to derail this train. So look, who have their rally the same day as the sea. Look, just today I will send you video of Ambassador Weah or President Weah receiving some Nima County CPP supporter that endorsed him and they were coordinating.
It was and it wasn't today. It was
yesterday.
Yeah.
A few days ago. Did you see that video?
Yes.
Who were this? Have you seen people coming defecting for the United Party side? Look, the CPP is a distraction. Cummings should not even be in the race right now because if you really love this country, I listen to Charlene. Charlene, have you heard Charlene attacking the CDC? She made it seem like there was an afraid situation and the UP and the CDC are the people that are causing chaos. We are the responsible people. And they always want to, they have this elitist mentality that they are better off, they are more responsible, vote us. But it takes more than better and being responsible. The people, you have to win the heart and mind of our people. They have not done that. So they are collaborating. Because you know what? Cummings' only pathway, the slimest way, is for George Weah to get re-elected, pray for Sokora, go in the international community, do some back-end dealing to get him out before his turn over. Then the cycle start again, but then they have removed Ambassador Boyka from the race, and then that will be an opportunity. I don't even think he's thinking on 2019. I think he knows that George Weah will never even end his term if that was remotely going to happen. So that's why. So they are more than a distraction. They are collaborating, and in this campaign, we see who they are attacking. They attack the Ambassador Boyka more than even the George Weah. How many times have you seen them attacking George Weah? How many times have you seen them criticize this government? No. And then, I know you want to come in, but let me say this one thing. People think, oh, you attack coming, and second round we need it. I'm telling you, the ANC USA, in Liberia, the people will do what they have to do. The ANC USA, rather George Weah become president, the country go up in flame than allowing Cummings' aspiration to be watered down. I'll tell you about what
I'm going to say is, Fadiga, I want to say this to you. Most ANC voters in Liberia, they want George Weah out as much as the UP voters.
That's what I know.
In the second round, and you did say this, Fadiga, in the second round, if Honorable Cummings, look, I cap Honorable Cummings not more than 15%. I believe he will take his number up, but I don't think it's going to go beyond 15% overall. But I will say this. Let me
hold you right there. I beg you, Dwadu. I beg you. Which county will bring him up to 15?
No, that which county I'm talking about is overall number across the country.
It's overall. A county got to elevate him. The last time he was 7%. So now if he add another 8%, which county are going to give him that strength?
Because let's see, in Grand Crew County, he had 3%. Well, almost 4% in Grand Crew. I believe that number will go up. In River G, in Grand G, they have 1%, 1.9%. They have about 2%. I believe that number will go up a little bit. In Montserrat County, where Mr. Cummings had about 10.4%, I believe Mr. Cummings will take that number up to about 15% in Montserrat County. In Grand Bassa County, he has 6.8%. Let me just make sure it's the right one. In Grand Bassa County, Mr. Cummings had 2.6%. I believe he would take that number up to around 20%. So these little increment would get Mr. Cummings say up to anywhere from 12 to 15% overall, because I believe he would do a little bit better. But I will say this, and I want for people to hear this. Most Liberians that are back home, that I'm not talking about ANCs in America. Liberians that are back home, they want President Weah out as much as people in the UP party. So when Mr. Cummings does not make it to the second round, which is a foregone conclusion, he's not going to make it to the second round, they are going to vote the UP party in the second round. And I want to make sure that is said.
So, okay, guys, listen, a very interesting discussion, and it's so good that everybody passionate. You find Mr. Dwadu reading the numbers. He's going to share that numbers with us. It's the old numbers. But Mr. Dwadu is never a selfish man. He always share. He's a Christian, and, so he will share it. That's the old numbers. But again, though, let's go back to this county thing. I'm begging you, George Soto. If Moserado go, whether to Boyka or to George Weah, which of course we doubt it will go to George Weah. Election, you said probably the first round. You said it. You said probably Joe Boyka can win this thing the first round. How is that probability?
Well, you already distributed the county. It's simple math. We're all giving George. We have 3 or 4 counties that the voting population equals to 1. Nima alone evens them out. He gave me the numbers in Nima as well. Last year was 8%. Now, with the proximity of Nima to the presidency through an electoral process, with clear definition for the first time in the history of the country, with that population that is growing at an increasing rate, you understand that will be taken. So, one county even said that about, like I said,
At least Solo, you're coming in very bad, Solo.
Solo, can you get out and come back in? We hearing Stingray. You know the whole
I
song
just send the numbers to you.
So
we want to share it.
Get out and come back. Let's get out and come back in. We want to hear him. Our sister, Dr. Francine Chinwe Richardson, who is in Liberia, saying, come on the ground and hear for yourself. That was Dr. Richardson saying she talking about you know who, Mr. Cummings. She lost her voice. She cannot speak. So now she texting. Come on the ground and see if the people are thinking Unity Party victory. Wow, Dr. Richardson just threw something out there. Yeah, she threw something out there though. Today they were in West Point. You know, Dr. Richardson have never visited West Point in her entire life. She didn't even know what West Point is. She didn't know She didn't even know the way that West Point was part of Waterside. She didn't know you got to go through Waterside before you branch to West Point and go on the beach and see all the killers.
What's wrong with that? I didn't know that.
No, my man. Let me make my case.
Boy. I'm not Moravia boy.
But I mean, the woman says she live in Moravia. If you live in Moravia and you live in the very hard and tough life, you will understand those places. That's the seriously, that's the slum. So Dr. Richardson was glad today to go to West Point and make the case, but I don't know. I don't know, Fadiga. Dr. Richardson will argument here. I will leave it when she come on. You will hear from her.
Well, Dr. Richardson don't like me to say, but we will say the Congo-rich ticket. Look, Congo is an idea, it's a mindset.
You put her in situation.
Yeah. I know. I'm not putting her in situation. So many people don't know
what it means. Situation, bro.
I know the people don't know what it means to eat Gary Yoko. They do not know what it means to go out to not even know what your next day meal will be. That is why they're finding it hard to relate to the Liberian people, and we understand the ANC, CPP folks. They are regime collaborators. That's why I want to say this: if you are a Unity Partisan tomorrow, stay home. If you don't have nothing to do on the first, stay home. We do not want people to blame us.
Why are you asking them to stay home?
We need to send a message to Josh Weah and his people. We're not going to be stand up by to increase that number. Stay home. We do not want to.
Why are you guys saying so? I'm confused. Why are you asking people to stay home?
But why would he not ask the people to stay home when you know that October 1st is supposed to be? Don't try it. The Konapo then coming outside. Now, who won't be associated with Konapo? Rasta don't work for CIA.
Thank you. Stay home. Sunday, go to church, eat your color green or whatever.
If you are not a Konapo, stay home.
Stay home.
So what you are asking people to stay home for what now? Why the people must stay home?
Because coming out October 1st is a Konaping issue. If you are not a Konapo, stay home. The people coming on the 1st are Konaping with the CDC. They are regime collaborators. If you are not a regime collaborator, stay home.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yo, stay home.
This election is about our future, our children's future. Is not a joke. Don't even go on the road to look at themselves so they get count you in the video. Stay home. That CDC coming outside tomorrow. That CDC Konapo then coming outside.
So, Bob, Dwadu, I'm not part of the other conversation, but Dwadu, the two guys hijack something. No. Because I believe if the people have the people to go and celebrate with them and celebrate Joe Manor with a birthday party, and the people are going to get something to eat from there, why are you telling them to stay home?
Because we want
them to celebrate.
We wanted to have that time, and this crowd politics thing, we're not going to contribute to it. The issue here is, look, young people in the country, start wasting time. Let's get rid of this thing. Let's do every single thing we can to make this thing a one round for Honorable Boycott and get this country back on its proper path. President, we are post that be English existential threat. I mean, the man will suffer your children and your children on the children. He checked out the whole country. We got to set this country back right. This is bad for the country. And Mr. Cummings, look, anybody can run in Liberia. This is great for you. I believe it's a constitutional right to do so. But at the end of the day, what happened in 2017, Mr. Cummings understands this and support the UP ticket. Let's get rid of this Buka dancer.
Will Mr. Cummings run 2029?
I'm not sure. That's Mr. Cummings' question. I don't think it's.
What do you think? You around politics. What do you think? You think he's going to come back in the game? You think he have and then I mean, would the people allow him? You think the people will give him?
I don't think if he's defeated in this election, I don't think he have a skin in the game again.
Wow.
The dimension of the game will change. It's a different generation.
How Mr. Cummings should go in the margin to consider him for the 2029 candidate, Duadu?
Mr. Cummings has to go above 25%.
Wow.
I mean, because and where he's going to get the 20% from. Stanton, let me just go down the list very quickly and see and show you Mr. Cummings' number 2017. Now, this is not a suggestion that the numbers are consistent, they're going to be the same. That's not what I'm suggesting. But when you are doing statistical information, you look at historical information and you weigh those against the present realities. Lofa County 2%, Bapulu County 4%, Grand Cape 5%, Bomi County 7%, Moserado 10%. Bon County 5%, Margibi County 6.8%, Grand Bassa 2.6%, Nima County 6.2%, Riverside 2.8%, Sando 2.1%, Grand Jita 1.9%, River G 5.2%, Grand Crew County 3.9%, and Meriden County 21.6%. The bulk of where our populations are located, he's doing very poorly in those locations. To win an election in Liberia, these 6 counties that Brother Solo listed, we're talking about Lofa, Nima, Bon, Margibi, Moserado, and Grand Bassa. You have to be able to pull substantially beyond 50% to win in these locations. If you can win these locations, there's a possibility you're going to win. It got nothing to do with you don't let it, man, you don't do this. Every politics is local. When you say people,
this was 5 major 5-person race. 5. There were 5. The top 5. So Cummings among the top 5 got 10.4% from Moserado. Now there's no Brunskin, or you can say, well, half of Brunskin have connected to Cummings, half of Liberty Party are connected to Cummings. Prince Johnson is not running for president. Okay.
Well, Brunskin won 7.1% in Moserado, so it's not substantial. But I get it.
But you get it because the Brunskin represented Brunskin and Liberty Party.
I understand.
So
that.
if you take on half of them to give to Mr. Cummings, because those are the people he's counting on.
Well, you're missing a bad conclusion, Stanton. The Liberty Party hierarchical structure, the big wigs, they are with the Cummings Party. The voting bloc is actually with the UP organization. So the split in your Liberty Party does not benefit the CPP. It actually benefits substantially.
Yes, Stanton, don't look at the split as a 50-50.
No, it's not. But the name
high level of leadership on one side.
Go there. The name Brunskin is added to the Cummings. And she's
I agree, but the name does not represent the votes and the foundation of Liberty Party. That's the reality of the party. So because go ahead.
Can I put a Brunskin in a Kanga in a racing Grand Bassa County any day without even campaigning? The Kanga will win. Anybody that grew up in Bikino know this. I went to school with Kanga, teacher with Kanga. The Kanga is like the half of Grand Bassa Kanga.
I agree with you, but the Brunskin have a name in Grand Bassa now.
They do.
But
that's Charles Brunskin. There's a difference. Brunskin is Charles Brunskin. It doesn't look. I believe Charlene would feed a little bit into her father's clout. I'm not going to deny that, but it's not going to be substantial because there's a lot of factors there. Look, Youngbley is a senator. Kapi is a senator. We're talking about people who've won elections in this location. Matthew Joe in Grand Bassa County were going to beat Charlene Brunskin. I think it's district number 2, right? From Fairground, all that area that Matthew Joe represents, is just he was going to beat Charlene Brunskin in Grand Bassa County, and that's a representative seat. We're talking about counting.
Look at the demographic of people that would most likely vote for Charlie in Brown Bassa. It will be
No, but I'll just take an example. Samuel Dawson ran in Grand Julian and lost.
Yeah. Like
The name, this is the same elitism we talk about. Name is not a representation of the aspiration of the people. So because you have a certain name, the work that her father did, it doesn't mean that she has done it.
No, when
The favor that he gained, it doesn't mean that she has gained it.
So if that be the case, though,
better track record there.
if that be the case, though, Alu, let me come back to you before we go to Fadiga real quick. Cummings, doesn't he know that he's not winning this election, or why you think he's still hanging on?
No, Cummings, you know, there is an argument from the CPP folks. This is the argument. The silent voters. About 1 million Liberians abstained in the second round because Cummings did not run in the second round. This is the illogical conclusion. Okay, I call it the Achilles heel. Because they believe the 1 million voters that are abstaining in the second round 2017, there is a high probability the majority of that number is going to actually vote for Mr. Cummings. I don't know where they're drawing that conclusion from. But I would say this. Mr. Cummings is making some headways in these elections. But Mr. Cummings will be naive to believe that the way local elections work is going to be everything going to be dissipated because he's in the race. It doesn't work that way. You have to build something in the country. Now, let me be very clear because it would say, I'm not saying physical thing. I'm talking about building a political, what's the word I'm looking for, Fadiga? A political base in the country. It's just true for anywhere else in the world. But the people in Cummings camp, they believe it's just going to happen because the men work for Coca-Cola. Let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with working for Coca-Cola. This is a great thing. We all work in corporate America. It's a great accomplishment on the part of Mr. Cummings. But most elections do not necessarily pick the best executive in that election because there are stimulating factors that lead to picking a candidate. And they're refusing to understand that when you say it, they say, y'all want good for the country. Y'all hate Mr. Why would I hate Mr. Cummings, an accomplished professional? Why?
Look, guys, we have a very, very disturbing breaking news from one of the reporters in Liberia. I will call Dama to come on the show. Dama, can you come on? We have this very disturbing news. If you know the brother Clarence Jackson from Orchid FN, we are receiving information that his son was murdered. Dama, can you bring us up to speed?
Yes, I just spoke with Clarence because I saw the post on Facebook a couple of minutes ago. And I placed a call to him. Someone just stabbed his son, another age mate of his, because of confusion that was existing between a friend of his and Clarence's son. Stabbed him and killed him around Hotel Africa.
How old was he?
Middle, like teenager. I didn't get the age from him because he was crying and kind of distorted and all that. But what is this? What is this?
Again, we will not show the picture. If only we allowed to, then we will. But again, this, you are right to ask how old was he, because we want to understand whether he in the political arena. But if so, this is terrible, though, Tuwalu. This is bad for our country. As we get closer to the election, the news, the information that come out. And you see, you just spoke to him, right, Diamond?
Yeah, I just got off the line with him a couple of minutes ago.
Clarence Jackson worked for Orchid FM, correct?
He is the manager of OK FM and runs their morning show.
Wow.
It's just like Damo said, it's just the rate of lawlessness. And as you follow this thing, you'll see that the police don't have the ability to investigate. The investigation will go nowhere. It will just be a grieving parent. A young man just lost his life. Another young man who knows what he's on is on the run. 2 families in the lost. A nation in the lost. It's just the same circle over and over and over and again because of, again, the level of mindset that have been imposed on our young people. The level of hardship, the level of suffering, exposure to drugs, exposure to all kinds of things precipitate these happenings in our environment. Lack of security, lack of policing, lack of good criminal justice system where people can take their cases and feel redress. when you don't have all of those things, it just become a gangster paradise. Everybody is using violence to show
Let's
themselves.
come in a bit, Mr. Solo. This thing of lawlessness, it knows no name or whatever status you have in society. Clarence is a well-renowned journalist in Liberia, and this has happened to his son. Look, the level of lawlessness we see every day from the young generation and even our generation is baffling. Like, people walking around with knives, people do things like the way they have the blood in the cribs, like everybody wants to be affiliated with some gang, like throwing gang sign and calling themselves gang, and like this is crazy. Similar thing happened to Spider of Hot FM. His son was stabbed right on the old road. Right on the old road. Now stabbing, and acting like gangsters is the order of the day to show some I don't really get it.
No, let me say this. I'll be leaving soon.
If you man enough to stab somebody, why are you running away?
Damo, let me say this. One of the things, I mean, it may just seem like these are just arbitrary stuff. There's a lot of trauma going on in Liberia. A lot. Everything that we are witnessing has to do with PTSD. A lot of trauma that have been not diagnosed and untreated. One of the things you will notice in Liberia, if you Central Monrovia or in any part of Liberia, the only way we deal with conflict, you will see grown men throwing punches every corner. As soon as it's easy to see older Liberian men, not even young, grown people fighting away out of problems. This have to do with trauma. Some of those trauma dating way back to the Civil War. They have to do with a lot of things, poverty, mental health issue. The last report that came out of Liberia put us at about 40% of your nation were cuckoo. United Nations said it. These are unresolved. These are not just ordinary things that people just do at their own will. I work with mental health. I work in this field, and I know it for a fact that unresolved trauma is killing Liberia. I want to the next president need to focus on.
So, Fadia, don't you go? We got 30 more minutes to go. Every one of us, you can do this. You want to talk, then you want to run. Don't work wrong with this guy.
I want to say something what Drama just said.
30 more minutes and we go because I'm gonna have to leave.
I got a breaking news though. Another breaking news.
Fadika, before you bring your breaking news, I beg you. So, on behalf of the Spoon Network, our CEO is here. We want to extend our deepest condolences to Clarence Jackson and his family. We will be reaching out tomorrow, as we said on the phone, to show solidarity. And this is everybody's business. This issue of drugs, this issue of violence. We used to see these things on the major roads, but now it's in our communities.
We hope
it's right at our doorsteps.
Listen, Dama, let me take it from you. We can disagree to agree on the issue, but Clarence Jackson's son, we pray in the name of God that the family can be strong. I just lost my niece to a motor vehicle accident on the Japan freeway. Imagine your young son. Imagine your young niece. Imagine your family member. This is hard. This is beyond politics. I don't know him. I never spoke to him before, but I wish the family well. And I know that Madam Titi Kana, the CEO, will reach out to extend our condolences again and again. Clarence Jackson, we hope you can keep the faith, be strong, and we wish you and your family well through these difficult times. That is hard. It's hard. Talk to us, Mr. Dwalu.
I want to say this because my brother Momolu Dolly keep pushing this up, and this is true across the city. The entire city now has been parceled out. So if you're in Painesville, there's a gang leader in Painesville. If you're in Claretown, there's a gang leader. Everybody has their own little enclave, their own little territory across the city. And the police in many instances is not even administering any kind of oversight in this location. But Stanton, I have to point this out, and I hope you give me the permission for this, but I run a show for the last 2 years. It's about the Liberian family. Most of this issue is because of the dissolution of the Liberian family. Every single Sunday, I run a show called A Message to the Legatees of Liberia. And the reason why I run this show is to remind people that we are going to die as a society. When I mean die, I'm talking about chaos, because the Liberian family is being dissolved. This is why we cannot take leadership very lightly. I think I've run about 57 episodes. You can go on my page and check it out. And we talk about how we can bring the Liberian family together, because most of the young men have no oversight. They have no guidance. Stanton, I'll tell you myself about the same age group. When we were beginning, all we did was just fight. The maximum we do, get each other government family, we go home. It was nothing major. Nobody pick up plank or colors to hit you. The boys in Liberia, when they're arguing, you stay far away. Don't argue with them, because they're ready. They're not even fight. They're trying to kill you, because there is no consequence there. It's because the dissolution of the family unit, the fathers are absent, the mothers in many instances, their debaucheries are literally killing their own children across the country. So there's a trickle-down effect across the country. There are enclaves. Everybody get their own territory. You go there, they do whatever they want to you. The police can't even pull full. This is dangerous.
And you spoke about that program. I hope you can bring that program on the Spoon Network, that you can have a bigger and larger audience. Because Sunday is a day that we do not have the Spoon Talk, but you're gonna arrange that. Fadiga, let's wrap this thing up. We got 9 more minutes to go, man. Today is Saturday. And from my take, we discussed a lot today, and again, man, I'm feeling so bad to go like this. We heard the Clarence Jackson show. We know what he brings to the table.
I listen to him all the time. Actually, I get a lot
it's bad. It's horrible that somebody can take his son's life, man. It's bad for our country. And take politics out of it. It's just bad naturally. It's worse. But let me close on this, on the politics side. I'm very, very concerned for you and George Soto to come on Spoon Talk Fadiga and say Cummings is done. The people doing the closing tomorrow. The people doing the closing tomorrow, Fadiga.
They will have to.
I do my closing now, and I do my closing, bro. You were coming.
You see, when you come on in, they won't maybe talk. I tell you, Fago, I didn't call Fago to come help me here, man.
Wait, man. That Fago, I know what Fago, I know what he's doing. But Fadiga, seriously though, it is important for us to understand that I think I would agree with Eduardo. Cummings must come up with 25 and above. Then when he come back 2029, probably the people will listen to him. And another thing Eduardo took away from me, silent voter. Do we really have silent voter in Liberia? I disagree.
Thank you.
I disagree. The mindset that people say silent voter. No. They may eat your money, but they know who they're voting for. They may wear your t-shirts, but they know who they're voting for. They are not silent voters. These people's minds are made up. They have made a conscious decision that they're either for Joe Weah or they're against Joe Weah. If these people were silent voter and they want to support Cummings, they will come out like the way they are coming out for Unity Party or other political party. Tewon Gonglo, 2-3 days to come, Tewon Gonglo will say, you know what, my chances are slim. I'm not going to spend money again. Dr. Clarence Maluba, he knows very well his chances. He's not going to be president of Liberia in this election. They stay between George Weah and Joseph Yeman Boakai. So again, I think Mr. Cummings is giving this a last shot. The expectation on the numbers tomorrow, if those expectations are not met, I don't think Mr. Cummings will spend any money further. It's hard, my people. We are not saying this because of hate. It's a reality on the ground. Call Joseph Boakai. Call Joe Weah. Joe Weah can fly a helicopter here and there. He in his own bubble. If DeLong, Yaka Koluba, the men and women in Monserrato deliver Monserrato to Joseph Boakai, Joe Weah is in trouble. Even in the second term, the very sedition will be crossing over. And that's my take tonight. So every Yama Joe Weah doing, the people are just waiting for October 10th. But we'll come back on Monday and make the case. Let's talk to Fadiga. Fadiga, talk to us, man. Do your closing.
The thing is, I want to agree with Dwalu. The family, Liberia, there is a breakdown of our family structure. Look, how many Liberian family, daddy, mommy sit on at the table every evening and have a decent meal together? This is something that is still going on in so many other African countries. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Go to Ivory Coast, it's happening. Go to Guinea, it's happening. Go to Sierra Leone. I'm not too familiar with Sierra Leone, but I've been to the other countries. The reason here is how many of our young children start to live on their own at a very early age? By 18, 19, young girls. Try that nonsense in some of the other countries. Right next door. Children live with their parents until they get married.
Correct.
Children don't fight hard to be out in the street. Not that they're not independent. Not that they did not do anything. but there is that structure. People still fear other things. They fear, but they still regard family name. But you see, and I don't want to denigrate. I don't mean to demean our people anyway. So many things happen that didn't happen in those other countries. But when I look at Liberia and I look at the problem, unresolved problems in Liberia, and each government keep pushing it, kicking the can down the road, and then you have a government now that have exacerbated the situation by bringing in drugs. Look, Liberia got serious mental health issue. Even some of our government officials got mental health issue. I know when it comes to mental health, a lot of us, look at it in a derogatory means. But anybody can have mental health. I myself can have mental illness. When the brain goes through a lot, you have to have professional help to deal with some of those things. What we are seeing manifest in Liberia is mental health, undiagnosed, unresolved mental health issue. That's why you see people yelling, oh, they're fighting, they're trying to stop. That's trauma. If you grew up in a community where people are petrified, you live in a cage, your doors are boarded all like you in a prison. You cannot even something. The crime of opportunity on the rise. And you know why it's more in this government? Because the government of President Weah have divided the country into gang. Jefferson Koji has his gang, Finabono have a gang, and these guys are beholden to the government and are willing to execute whatever the government wants.
Yeah.
That is the reason why they are not doing anything about it. That is the reason why crimes are going unresolved. But I'm so sad that this happened to our brother. Yeah. Death is not something I will wish on my worst enemy.
Child.
The pain never goes away. Child, I can tell you as a parent, as a father, as a human being, as someone that have lost someone very close to them, you don't want to be in that spot. Stanton, I have to go. We'll be back here on Monday.
So you don't want to hear doing a closing?
My question won't be too long. The man got to go.
Man, that guy, he doesn't like
it. Uber, you see the Uber waiting for me?
Yeah, but the man got to do a closing. You got 3 cars in your driveway. You talk about driving Uber. You can lie, man. That's not even a good lie.
All right, my man, I want to say this. One time, Honorable Bakai, speaking to him, he said, Dwali, what concerns you about this country? And as Honorable Bakai, the 2 things that worries me about Liberia, the breakdown, the dissolution of the Liberian family, and the development of a private sector where we can give men and women dignity again. The issue of the Liberian family is so near and dear to my heart. It worries the living hell out of me. Because if you go to our country, you're talking about family eating together, you don't see that anymore. You talk about the debaucheries of our young women in the country. We're talking about the men, the absentee fathers across the country. Every single one of us is going to get affected by the absence of the fathers in the home, the absence of the mother in the home, the absence of job creation in Liberia. We need a structured society. Sometimes I say this to the pastors and the imams across Liberia. You have a responsibility that is greater than yourself. Our family is being dissolved. And the remnant of that dissolution is what you're seeing across the country. I would have, look, in Buchanan, if we used to go pick plum from people, they will tell my papa. The people that kept me, they will whip me first. Then before they reach my papa will soak me again. Then we'll go on the camp the next day, they might bring it up, it might get soaked again. So you had a whole structure around you to develop that. But it's gone. And I'm so glad Honorable Braga understands this family structure, because this is where everything is. This is where everything is. We're losing our children, not just to drug, but to absenteeism. They're not thinking about what they're going to aspire to, because there's nothing to aspire to. The fathers are absent because they have no job. Nothing is working in the country. The issue about voting is not a child's play thing. We have to seize this country so we can set up structure that protect our children, elevate our community, so we can build a more viable society that we all can be proud of. Once again, to my brother Clarence Jackson, man, I will have to go out to you. I got 3 teenagers myself, and I understand the issue, and it's terrifying.
Listen, Eduardo. If your family man is hard, people listen to Clarence, but just imagine, I saw the son picture. It's not my business to post it because the family are mourning. But he posted it on Facebook. You can go to Clarence page and see the picture. He lost a teenager. He lost his son. Imagine all those years. It's very hard for country. It's very hard for family. It's very hard for people. But as we move closer to the election, we got to make the case who will win what. And I like the idea that you came up with this chat, who won before with the percentage, and you giving now Mr. Cummings 25%. I'm still thinking about the silent voters. I know they have spoken and they continue to speak, but CPP said they are silent. So let's wait and see. I know we'll be back again on Monday by God's grace, sir. Thank you, Eduardo. Yeah. Yes, Magic, come on, let's wrap the show up. Magic. So, folks, that's what you have it. We are blessed. I'm here with Magic. I don't know who's this guy. He said Casa, C-A-S-A. It was Diamond before, and now it's Magic. So it's 7 o'clock, 11 o'clock in Liberia. Let me mind my business. Magic, I know you're going to have Nelson coming in. Yeah, I can't hang out with you. Huh? Is he there?
No, nothing. Yeah.
I can't hang out with you, Piggy. I'm so hungry. I'm so tired to this Saturday. I gotta go. I know you want me to hang out with you. I can't. The name said that you get Magic is scaring me before you knew Magic on me. Yeah.
You got see about eating. So
see you gotta say about what?
Eating.
But why you put it that? You said I gotta say about eating, or you gotta say about eating?
No, the way you say eating, you gotta find food to eat.
Yeah, I gotta go see if I can cook something. Magic, do you cook?
Nah.
Do you eat?
Yeah, I eat.
You're supposed to cook if you eat.
I can try. Let me say dry rice. I can try with dry rice and stuff.
What you put in the dry rice?
You put pepper. Yeah, I always go with pepper, bella ball, and moi. That's all.
Moi?
Yeah.
You put pepper, you put bella ball, then you put moi.
Yes, sir.
What is moi? No, man, I ask you a question. What is moi?
You know what kind of thing, yeah, man.
Man. You talk about So you said moi that what? Rotten fish?
Rotten fish.
You have a good Saturday, man. Thank you very much. Ted Nelson, I will be following him when they're doing their late night politics. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's wrap this thing up.
Okay. All right, folks. So that's it right there. You just listen to the program Spoon Talk right here. The guys gonna be back here for you guys Monday by God's grace. Until then, my name is Prince Hamon, alias DJ Magic Fingers. We want to appreciate you guys for always tuning in. A shout out to you guys that always are on our live feed. We've been live on Spoon TV, Fiber TV, and Super TV as well. And I've also been live on Fiber FM, Spoon FM, and Super FM. Until then, my name is Prince Hamon. We're going to be back here for you guys by Monday. So have yourself a wonderful, God bless night from my end. Bye bye. God, yo.
The rap team, one love. Come and hear the cheese for prove the rap war.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, Stan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charging.